Doing it live. Okay, and here we are in the Embarrassing Humans entertainment half hour, 2 hours, whatever this ends up being. Welcome to my name's Lorenzo, joined as in this current iteration by Emmett Morrison, who's right below me in the squares. And then we have some special guests here tonight returning to the show, because Tom, you were on when we did the Mr. Show stuff, right? Is that when you were on last?
Shows us around.
Right. Tom Hills over to my this way. What is this, left, I guess, or screen right, or whatever. And then joining us as is his usual, David Haddad Proxy, Andrew Wambolt joining us down there. Andrew's courteous enough to jump in at the last minute, jumping home from his job to join us on this beautiful Sunday evening in blistering hot Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. We have hopefully David Haddad will be joining us later today. He is on Tim Riel's Tim and It Real show, Codenames. They're fighting for the summer bragging rights champions, whatever. So don't turn over there. David will tell us how he did. But stay here, because we're going to be talking about the show I Think You Should Leave, which just aired its second season July 6th on Netflix. And it's with, actually, sorry, the full name is I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. And we'll be talking about it from a couple different perspectives. So first, we're going to talk about the second season. And also, we'll probably talk about the first season as well a bit. And also the show that kind of preceded both of these seasons called Detroiters, which was on the, I believe, Comedy Network here and Comedy Central in the States for 2 seasons. Brilliant show. Tim Robinson, if you don't know and if you're unfamiliar with him, he was most notably a cast member on Saturday Night Live in the early 2010s. I think he was on 12, something like that, 12, 13. And then transitioned. He was a featured player for a year and then was very uncomfortable with that and then decided to just be a writer at that point. And correct me if I'm wrong, fellow I Think You Should Leave super fans, but is it a lot of this season too? Or because I know a lot of the first season was a lot of rejected sketch pitches, right? From his time at SNL. Is that your guys' understanding too?
That's what I heard. I'm not sure. I can't really, I don't know which ones in particular, but I definitely have heard that.
What about
Which
you,
is
Andy?
probably why it's so good.
Yeah.
I have no idea about that.
Okay. Perfect. Well, yeah.
I believe you.
So that's the rumor is that that's a lot of what at least the first season was. One of the things that I've seen people argue about online. So it's a sketch comedy show. It's very dark. Probably darker than I would say anything we've talked. I mean, Mr. Show kind of gets dark like that, but I think You Should Leave's consistently dark, throughout the whole thing. There's bright moments, kind of, but really no. It's just all just really fucked up, or awkward, or sad, or aggressive. And he finds a lot of the humor in just pushing that, whatever emotion that is, whether it's awkwardness or anger or uncomfortableness or whatever weirdness, he just pushes it further and further and further and further, and you either love it or you hate it. And so so I love the show. I also love Detroiters. Emmett as well loves the show, loves Detroiters, and Andrew is a huge fan as well. Tom is going to be our we're selling it a bit to Tom, because Tom informed me before that he's only seen the second season a little bit. Oh, well, it sounds like you've seen all of it if you saw the Claire's sketch.
Yeah, I've seen almost all of it.
Okay, so he's seen almost all of it, but did not really enjoy it that much, and has not seen season 1. So and also hasn't seen Detroiters. So we're going to be selling it a bit more to him. I want to read you guys this review that I just saw on IMDb of the show. Top review. This is the top review of the show right now. 0. How the hell can anyone find this funny? 10 of us watched the first 5, and that's all we could stomach. How on earth did celebrities agree to this unless they did not read the script? I see 10-star reviews. Why? What the... I should read it like Tim Robinson. What the hell is wrong with the world? This is not comedy. My 9-year-old comes out with way more stomach-curling jokes and ideas than this achieves. If it is for the looks on people's faces, maybe a 0.5 star rating as they look a bit, but nope. Don't waste your time or money if that's the only reason you subscribed. It's utterly atrocious. First off,
Really?
Really? Why would you watch? Okay.
There's like they watched the first 5 and there's like 6 episodes. Like why not watch the last one? And they're 15-minute episodes.
Also,
I don't know about the watching with 10 people. Like
that's too many people for anything.
Exactly. What?
Yeah.
This is not
all that. It just means one person is going to be like, I don't like this, and everyone follows in line or something. I don't know. But like, you can't really watch something with 9 other people.
Okay. The way this show starts out, this season starts out, I think the first episode is one of the strongest ones. Has the first 2 sketches are like 2 of the best ones of the entire season. For some reason, also hot dogs feature prominently in Tim Robinson comedy, not just in I Think You Should Leave, but I'm pretty sure in Detroiters as well. They feature prominently. But if you're a fan of memes, you'll know the infamous "We got to find the guys who did this" meme that Tim Robinson became when he was dressed as a hot dog guy. So Tom, this is a sketch from the first season where this hit and run happens, where a hot dog shaped car crashes into a storefront, and everyone's like, "Who did this?" And then like it's like for a good minute, it's like I didn't see that. And then this guy in a hot dog suit shows up. He's like, "Yeah, I know, right? Like we gotta find out who did this." And then it's like it was clearly you. You're dressed like a hot dog. So that's become a meme on Twitter and political circles and whatnot. But yeah, it's and then the first episode was him with the hot dog freak out. And Trina Wilson messaged me this afternoon to say she did not like the vomiting of the hot dog. I like the joke that followed that of whose bag is that? I almost tripped on it. And then he looks at the screen. What are you gonna say, Tom?
I was gonna say one of my favorite things about this show. So like a lot of sketch shows will have a callback within an episode. What I love about the show is they'll have a callback like 3 episodes later.
Right.
That's very cool. Where you just like the first episode you have the hot dog thing, and then 3 episodes later it's just like you find this where you're choking on a hot dog.
No, I'm not going to tell you what happened. I got fired. But
yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You don't see that in any contemporary sketch show, and that's one thing I've loved about this show. It's like. Oh, and same with was like Buff Boys, the Buff Boys thing.
Little Buff Boys, yeah.
The Buff Boys came up like 4 episodes later. I'm like, I forgot about this. Thank you for reminding me. I love this. I like
it's
that.
True, yeah. No, and I think that that did happen in the first season, but I can't really remember any. But I'm sure there was other callbacks like that in the first season. But maybe if you guys think of one as we go, but. The second sketch of the season is probably one of my favorite pieces of comedy I've ever seen, which is Coffin Flop, Corncob TV. It's I don't even know what it is, some kind of impassioned infomercial. And I don't know if you guys saw, there was a story that came out. It was a Friday or Thursday. Emmett, I think you shared it in the group chat of the like prop maker stunt guys. Like interviewing how they did that, and it's the most insane like what they did to accomplish that. They shot that all in one day. That was 26 coffins that they busted through, or like the false bottom of it. But like, and the stunt guy, like it's primarily I think one stunt guy for most of them. He's the one who was naked and rolling downhill, like flopping downhill. I think the best quote of the article is like, yeah, I'm really proud of what I do, and I wanted to share it with my like he teaches like a profession, was it skip rope or something like that? Like he has a weird like full-time job of like some kind of coach, like athletic coach, and then he's like I want to show it like to the kids I work with, but then I realized it's not really for kids. It's like, yeah, you showing yourself naked, falling out of a coffin. Yeah, that one's just so good. Like everything about it, like I don't know. What do you guys think of how the season started? That first episode. What are your thoughts? I'm talking too much. Emmett. Emmett.
I love the hot. I don't know who, but I love the hot dog thing. I was like immediately like, oh, I'm watching. I think you should leave. You know, when him trying to eat the hot dog is amazing to me because like I don't even know if you really have to act. Like he just has to try and eat a hot dog out of his sleeve, like because it's gonna look ridiculous no matter how it goes. You know.
It's also reminiscent like the punch of it, where it's just like and that's why you should never skip lunch. Is very reminiscent of like Arrested Development, or it's like, and that's why you should always leave a note, or that's why you always replace the milk. It's like but it's an old gag, but it's a good gag. Like it's great, and and the build up to it I really like. I thought that was a great bit, and the coffin.
That shows like he gets stuck on like his characters will get stuck on something. You know, he's like when he's wearing the
illegal.
Hat, he's like. You can't fucking do this, and like he's just ramping himself up now.
I was really happy with the way the season started. There was so much like expectations, at least for me, about how like the first season was like the best thing I ever saw. So the second season, I wanted it to be better, and like immediately it was. I thought it was really impressive.
So that's actually been a common point of in the meme group, the I think you should leave meme Facebook meme whatever group. The consensus seems to be that season 1 was better, but I disagree. I think season 2 is better than season 1. But I don't know. But then people were like, there's less awkwardness in season 2 than there was in season 1. And there's more anger in season 2. And I'm like, maybe that's what I'm gravitating towards. But...
Anger is really funny. And, I noticed, especially in season 2, a lot of the time the punchline to the sketch is just like a funny voice or a weird face or a combination of it. So much more in the second season. Like that one sketch where he puts on the hat and the glasses and the dog is freaking out. I really hated that sketch up until the end when he took off the glasses. He was like, "It's just me, Buster."
He cries a lot in second
season. Crying as a punchline.
And almost that he's crying a lot, and it's pretty funny. I like in that one you just said, Andrew, when I think it's Connor O'Malley, who I love, or whatever. He thinks he's a new guy.
Yeah, he thinks he's a new guy.
But the second dog appears.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tom.
Oh no! I was gonna say it's a very drawn out joke. It's not. It's like in terms of sketch comedy, it's not that something new, but I like it because it really pushes it does push the envelope where it's just like, it's really feeding on the emotions, really. And when the punch comes, you're just like, it's not a matter of like, oh, ha, ha, ha. It's more like, oh, fuck, we've made it here. Holy shit. This is the punch? Oh, fuck. It's like you emotionally get invested in it. It's like, you did this. And that's great. I love that. I love that's what it's about it.
How that sketch starts, too, is you think it's going to be a Connor O'Malley heavy sketch because it starts with him angry about the trash hutch thing. It's like, oh, haha, yeah, we don't have the trash hutch. It made me so his big sketch in season 1, he had two of them. One was one I didn't enjoy that much, was the recording studio thing, but like at least I didn't like where it went. I like the beginning of it where he's in it, where it's like, you're gonna be a star. But the other one that he was in, I really enjoyed. I actually watched that one. I watched both seasons again.
That one's my favorite from season 1.
The honk if you're horny. Yeah.
Because I mean, the honk if you're horny aspect, like it's just kind of a basic premise and whatever, but like then where it goes, it's always
singing at his mom's funeral. Friday.
Hold on, I have to go sing a song.
And then it's this beautiful montage, and he's like crying reading the porn, or just like very emotional reading the porn. But yeah, the thing is, I've watched season 2 I think now 4 times again. Like I have the second screen here, so like I'm working from home, and I am working, but I also like will put it on just to have it. And like with this sketch you guys are talking about with the dog yelling or barking, I started watching it again, and then I noticed which I didn't notice the first time. I was like, he's going, and it's all going so terribly. But then he like looks over at the lady who's next to the Bluetooth speaker, and he tells her to turn it up.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, like why is she going along with it? And then she does it, I think, twice for him.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
Much like with the one sketch where it's I love the sketch where they're doing, I can't remember the name of the game, but they're like picking things out of the hat, or people out of the hat, and they're just like, all right, you know the celebrity, you know, he's a jazz musician.
Yeah, Tim Heidecker.
Oh.
I love that sketch because my favorite part is the finish where like they leave and his girlfriend's just like, thank you for embarrassing us.
Yes.
Like, you know, thank you for just like making him feel in love. Like, I love that. I love how she just kind of just went.
I love the when he pulls out the bag of walnuts. He's like, where's your nutcracker? Who carries around a bag of walnuts? Like,
so funny.
I don't know. Yeah. So I guess Andrew, you agree season 2 is better than season 1, or you you prefer season 2 better?
Yeah, I definitely prefer, but I think a lot of it's just like knowing it was the second season. There's more expectations. It's like, it was almost like Make Me Laugh, Funny Man at the second season, whereas the first season, like I hadn't really heard of Tim Robinson before, so it caught me off guard. So I loved it, and the expectations were so high.
What about you, Emmett?
I don't know. I'm thinking I may like the first one more because I think I have a lot more favorites in that one, but like season 2 is still new, so you know. But like some of the standout season 2 ones, like I'm just like the mall prank one or whatever, like that could be better than anything in season 1. Or like, you know.
Yeah, I think that's, so again, going back to episode 1, I think that's the third sketch. Like after Coffin Flop, you get like, you're just like bang bang bang. It's and then that one ends with the very sad or not very sad, but the very weird like ghost or the haunting walk or whatever.
Oh, that was one of my favorites for sure.
That's a good one.
I like that one was one of the ones that it's definitely like lean into the uncomfortableness of the sketch and like the premise of it, and you see like I lost my shit when that sketch ended and he walked out and his mom picks him up. Like,
and that's the whole episode.
Yeah. That's like, I feel like that's like Tim Robinson as a whole is like, did you make any friends? Not really.
Not really.
That one was great. And then that one reminded me of like ending on a car gag. Season 1 of the where he's
Party?
The party, the mud pie. Oh,
mud pie.
And then I'll take Doug or whatever his name is. And then she looks over and he's dead in the passenger seat. It's like, and she just starts screaming. Yeah, that yeah. I think my first episode's great. Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
I was gonna say one of my favorite sketches, and it's such a simple gag, but it's like when he's like holding the baby, and it's like at a party, and just like, you know, the baby cries, and it's like, yeah, the baby's crying because the baby knows I used to be a piece of shit.
Slick back hair.
Yeah, the slick back hair, you know, like water steaks. You know, it's like, I love that. That was just so weird. It's like he just went off in a totally weird direction. I love that.
That's the one that features the steak. What is it?
Sloppy steaks.
Is that the sloppy steaks? The sloppy steaks. Yes, that's right. That's the one.
Water on the steaks, because it's like, I just remember like where the chefs are there, like at the bar, and they're like, "You're not gonna do it." And then they put the water in the steaks, and this is like, you know, just like, they just like launch over to be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I love it.
It goes very.
Yeah, and like I guess we don't really know why they hate it so much, or like why they're so against this.
Well,
right?
if I had to guess, it's probably because it's a huge fucking mess of water tainted with steak fat, most likely. But
not only that, but like if you're like a chef and you make a fucking steak for somebody and somebody fucks it up like that, oh man, they get pissed.
I don't know. I've worked in restaurants and I've just been like, do whatever you want. Like,
I work in a restaurant now.
worse
It's my
than
first time, and like I just make pizzas, and somebody asked for ketchup for her pizza, and I was like, absolutely not. And I really felt like and if I saw her putting ketchup on the sweet pizza I made her, I would go for it. I would absolutely not.
It's I worked at a restaurant in Merrickville where I had a chef, and I remember coming back one time. It was like, I had this girl. She wants a Caesar salad, but she wants everything on the side. It's the lettuce and then everything on the side. And he's just like, no, you go back out there and tell her how to order a Caesar salad.
You go back out there. You go back out there now.
Yeah, like typical just angry chef. Just like, no, you tell her how to order a Caesar salad. And I'm like, oh my God, no. Fuck. Put everything on the fucking side, you lunatic.
Yeah.
My God, Lorenzo's hair.
All right. Okay, sorry.
just showing off his beautiful mane.
That was incredible, Lorenzo.
Apparently, I'm yelling too loud for my children who are trying to sleep. So
This is like a Tim Robinson thing, right?
Yeah.
yeah. So he. Sorry, it's just funny. So the show also features Sam Richardson, who is in the first season and the second season. He only is in one sketch in the second season, which is the Little Buff Boys announcer. He's kind of reprising his role, but it's like a very similar role to his what was the name? Baby of the Year.
Harley Jarvis.
Yeah. Fuck you, Harley Jarvis. He also appeared in another sketch later on in the season with like Scrooge and From the Future, which is very strange that he's in that sketch, and then 2 years later appeared in the movie Tomorrow War, which is almost the same exact plot of what he was saying, except for the bone soldier things. But he's if you've seen, so this is us selling Detroiters to you, Tom, that's his co-star in Detroiters, is Sam Richardson, who I think is on the show Veep a lot. And he's also in The Office in a couple seasons or one season.
He's not in The Office.
Yeah, hold on, I'll tell you.
Sam Richardson?
Yeah.
The American Office?
An intern or something at one point?
Hold on, I'll tell you who he is. Little Buff Boys.
We will watch the entire Office right now.
Yeah. This has now become an Office Twitch stream. He was in...
I don't think he was in The Office.
Season 2012 to 2013, Colin, athlete employee. Athlete. She was in 6 episodes. So the first episode he was in the one where on Halloween the Cornell a cappella group plays a visit to Andy and Dwight's, discovers that Nellie takes anxiety pills, and Pam discovered Jim's business decision. That's the first one he was in. So that looks like that has to be the last season, right?
It must be. Hold on.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's the last season.
3 interns or something, like they had some like younger interns at one point. Was he one of those maybe or something? I don't remember.
I think
no.
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's the last
Incredible.
season. But yeah, he was in 6 episodes of that. Anyway, he's great. Detroiters is great. Detroiters is a show about, Tom, the show is about a set in Detroit, as you can tell by the title. And it's 2 guys. They're supposed to be like childhood friends, I guess, or like, even though like Sam's clearly much younger than Tim Robinson. But the way they kind of fix that is that Tim's married to his sister, who that actress appears in I Think You Should Leave a few times. But they have a very funny relationship. The whole show's hilarious. But they have a like advertising agency that they run, and they have a lot of local Detroit references. Like a lot of the commercials they make are very like ripped from their childhoods, and you can actually watch some of them like side to side or like back to back of like what they took the inspiration from. Because Sam Richardson's also from Detroit. I think he was, from what I read, it was Tim Robinson was Sam Richardson's improv teacher at Second City Chicago, and that's how they met, or Second City Detroit, one of the two, and that's how they met. And so they've been friends for a really long time, and the show is really great. Kevin Nash is in it at one point playing Tim Robinson's dad. So you could
Jason Sudeikis, executive producers. He's in the pilot,
George Wallace,
and the season finale. There's also a lot of former Pistons, I believe, are in it. Rick Mahorn
Yes.
has a prominent role in one of the episodes. But yeah, it's a really good series with like just so much comedy in it, and like you can tell that I had never heard of it until it was already over. And then when it was over, I watched it. I was like, how the hell did this get canceled? It's because of like most comedy series, they don't know how to market it. And also, I don't know if people were necessarily ready for that. But it wasn't even that long ago. It was like 2017, 2016 it was on. So like...
I only started I kind of knew about it, but then I only started watching after I Think You Should Leave, and I was like, oh, this guy's great.
Yeah. How did you find out about it, Andrew?
I think through Facebook, just word of mouth. I think actually Toronto comic Pat Thornton kept posting about it, and I think like he's really funny. And he quoted a scene, like the last scene of the first episode, in terms of like the whiteboard where Sam Richards he's making a list of things to do, and then has like girl on top, as he adds that, and like Pat just quoted that on Facebook, and I was like, oh, that's funny as shit. And I binged it one night. It was really good.
Like when they get the motorcycle.
Yes, when they get the motorcycle. That one's good. I think one of my favorite episodes of that is when they're shooting the ad in the mirror store, and how they can't seem to figure out how not to take video of the mirrors without them appearing in it. And it's just them like looking over and realize, oh shit, I'm on camera, and like ducking out, and the whole ad is like that. And then you see them like they're editing it, and they're like, you can take this all out, right? She's like, no. Like, what are you talking about? And then I think she just ends up pixelating it, right? And she's like, that's all I can do. Like, what do you expect? Anyway, Detroiters, great show. Check it out. Back to
one season?
Two.
Okay, cool.
I thought there were 3 when I was watching the second one, and it was heartbreaking when it ended. I was positive there was a third. There should have been.
That's the worst one. Like a series, like you don't know it's done, and you're just like, oh, on to the next episode, and it's all over. And you're like, oh, I was not
at all. Wasn't ready to say goodbye.
I remember I had a lot of series like that as a kid, where just like, I love this series. When's the next season? It's like they only had one season. Nickelodeon said no. It's like, oh fuck. I can't remember what Beast Wars.
Beast Wars. Yeah, that'll happen. For me, it was the Ben Stiller Show. No, I'm just kidding. Well, that was only one season. Yeah, it's he's a unique talent for sure, and a very but like that IMDb review I read earlier, unacquired taste, for sure. And I think that it's one of those things where like when I meet new people, let's say of the opposite gender, and maybe I'm interested in them, this like usually I want to gauge their sense of humor, and this would be most likely one of the shows I will use to gauge their sense of humor, like to see like, are we gonna get along sense of humor wise? Because really, like, are we?
Would you consider like what's like? Say you had to show somebody recording the show, like to see if they liked it, would you specify like certain sketches that you thought were maybe less zany to start with and see?
I honestly, the way season 2 episode 1 starts, I would just like literally, if you watch, okay, here's the thing, and this isn't just for women, but like if you watch Coffin Flop and you do not laugh, I'm sorry, we are not going to get along. We are not going to be friends. We we're not going to be anything. Like that's just like, how do you like, I posted that and like on my Facebook, like me laughing to that, and like understandably, my dad's side of the family is very religious, Seventh-day Adventists, and one of them responded with a shock emoji, and I'm like, yeah, I was like, I always forget you guys are here too, like seeing what I post. But it was very much just like, I don't care. Like they know I have a twisted sense of humor. Like it's just like, I don't think it's that twisted. It's like, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Coffin Flops could be twisted. I see.
I mean, if you're a religious person and believe that
respecting the dead,
yeah, and that their souls would be offended by this because they ain't got no souls. They ain't got no souls. Right? It's not illegal.
You're gonna give your kids weird nightmares, I tell you.
be funny if someone was like, "No, I don't like it because that happened to my dad." And Lorenzo's like, "No, it's funny."
Comedy is reality.
You saw someone's body falling out of shit wood? Like, oh man. That's
I like in that one how he just ramps up his anger, like now swearing's coming out and
yeah, he just gets more and more upset as it goes on. And Corncob TV, everyone wants to hit.
I love that's just calling it Corncob TV. That's like I love that because that's like a testament to like cable television, like or like just like fucked up shitty like television channels. Like my dad watches shit like that where it's like, oh, I'm watching Corncob TV where you have like 9% of the time it's like Perry Mason reruns or like, you know, maybe a little bit of MASH and then these
and then ghost hunting shows.
Yeah, ghost hunting shows.
And a pawn show or something.
Can you swear on these ghost hunting shows? Is that possible? Are you allowed to do that? Sorry.
There are some extreme ghost hunting shows where they just let loose.
Ghosts come on the walls, like they,
yeah.
You know.
I know. I don't want to say. I know you're having a bad day.
That's a really good point because, like, you know, when you watch it, like, there'd be the History Channel and it's like, oh, all aliens or whatever, like, you know, Pawn stars, and I'm like, oh, they don't really care what theme this channel is anymore. Like,
yeah,
they're showing Rounders now. You know what? I don't know.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, great movie. I've seen it a lot because of that.
Solid Ed Norton, Matt Damon film.
Apparently, maybe based on a little bit on Norm Macdonald.
Oh.
Yeah, because he knew the writer, I guess, and then they went to poker places in New York, like together or something.
Ottawa's own. Interesting. I didn't know that.
We'll save that for the Rounders episode.
It is a classic comedy film.
Do we get to eat Oreos?
Stands up next week, folks.
Like big stacks of Oreos? Like,
yes, I hope so. Yeah. So the okay, let's go through some of this ranking here, and I'll try and focus. Okay, so my first issue, I'll put it in the chat, is the AV Club did a ranking of all 50, was it 58 sketches or 59 sketches?
57.
57 sketches of all I Think You Should Leave. And I just shared the slide I'm at right now, which is the first one I wanted to talk about. It's the first issue I had. Well, the ones that it covers before that are... I feel bad because the first one it links as the lowest episode is Dave Campore, which is Detroiters Tommy Pencil. So he's a recurring character in Detroiters, and this is like his first and only appearance on I Think You Should Leave. And it's the callback to what's it called? The
Buff Boy.
Little Buff Boys. Yeah, he's hilarious in I Think You Should Leave, or in Detroiters. He's like very...
When he paints the van?
Yes.
Like, that part.
Just anything he does is just so...
It's an awful picture.
He's great.
It's like he fits the vibe of the show perfectly in Detroiters because he's so off-putting, and you're just like, is this guy an actor or is this just what he's like? And I feel like it's the latter of like this is just who he is. This one that has a 56 is one that I would agree is also like, maybe it's just because the awkward ones this time around didn't work as well, because this one's Del Frisco's Double Eagle. Season 2, episode 5. This is the one where it's the guy who they do the everyone put your card in, and then he's just like, oh fuck.
Well, I think I kind of was thinking about that one because like I love John Early. I think he's hilarious, but like in that one he's essentially playing Tim. Like that's a Tim Robinson kind of the whole thing, you know.
Yeah.
And it just sometimes maybe the actor, you know, it doesn't come off like. There's something more sad about Tim Robinson, maybe.
Yeah.
You can kind of feel for him a little, and you know.
It's those deep,
So
it's those deep set eyes.
It's like Tim Robinson could have ended it by just crying or something, you know, and it's just John Early doesn't have the same, I don't know, the same shot.
It's almost like speaking of The Office, where like I don't know how many if there's many people who could play Michael Scott than Steve Carell, because he's such a jerk, but you feel for him or like him. He's likable sometimes. You know?
And John Early is typically not likable at all. And so
I love him, but he plays a jerk.
I do love him.
To skip ahead to 53, it has the and this was a criticism of season 2, which I think I agree with, is there was a lot of office-based sketches in this one, in this season, that I think more so than season 1, but I still think a lot of them were great. It has one of the lower ranked ones as the big wave, where they're all on the table and then it breaks, and it just was awkward. I don't think
the puke on the bag was really funny. It was like the saving grace.
Overdone premise in a way too, where like somebody like takes something too far.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay, I've seen that a lot before. Like especially in the office environment, it's a very common,
yes.
rhetoric.
The one I had the biggest problem with out of these lower rankings is the Claire's sketch, which is the last sketch of season 2, which I said before we started the Twitch stream was probably one of my favorite sketches in it, because it takes such a right turn of like, or left turn of like what I thought the sketch was going to be about, in that it's like supposed to be a like information video for like getting your ears pierced. And it's a little girl sitting there, and then the camera finally backs up, and you see that there's an like 50-something-year-old man sitting next to her, and he's just getting more and more agitated about having to watch this video. But then the video ends up having these little girls in it, and then this like old man talking about essentially aging and like the fact that he's staring at death. And
I love, what number was that one?
52 they ranked it. So
yeah, no, I loved it. I thought it almost felt like Charlie Kaufman, like at the end or whatever. And then he's like, ain't that the fucking saddest thing you've ever? I'm tricking my dead self into thinking I had a great life. And then
he starts laughing.
Yeah, yeah, it's perfect. It should be higher. I agree with you, Lorenzo. It should be way higher.
Then we have the next lower one, which I kind of agree with, is the one where they had the impersonators at the birthday party.
I think that's one of my least favorite ones of the whole series.
Yeah,
actually,
it was.
Which one was that?
The one where the Johnny Carson impersonator just starts smacking people.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then I did like the fact that there was other lookalikes there that like didn't wait in the car, came in and started hitting people. The George Kennedy or George Bush impersonator. I also like that it's like if you don't pay enough, they slap you. I mean, the premise is hilarious, and Tim, I think, did everything he could to try and make it funny, but it's just so off-putting and bizarre that you're just like, what? Like, I think that's why it doesn't really work as well.
And this is like the Python enthusiast in me, where I see this and like I feel they could have cut that short and then just cut it into a commercial for like, impersonators at your party. It's like, hey, it's Dave's Impersonator Emporium, and like it turns into like a ridiculous offshoot sketch, like our offshoot commercial. And they could have made it, not that it would have made it so much funnier, but it would have just been like, okay, it addresses how ridiculous it is.
Yeah. I agree. The next one that they talk about is rated low, I think I agree with as well, which is Dave's Suit, which is where he hires the guy to come in and take huge shits and blames it on the other guy, the lookalike. I don't like. I'm looking at a screenshot of the sketch, and I remember this sketch, but I remember I was like, what is this sketch? I remember he's taking huge shits. Like that's it. That's all I remember.
I thought it was really funny. I think it's ranked way too.
You think
it
it
should be ranked
low?
higher? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I thought it was really short and sweet.
It was a short sketch,
and there was nothing not to like. Like, I loved it all.
Okay, so number 48. I'm just going through the season 2 ones. Is the Baby Cries one, which is I don't know why this is ranked so low. This is the one where he thinks I'm a piece of shit. The people can't change. Like, it was a long sketch. For sure, it was a long sketch. But, like, the fact that it ends with him, like reenacting or remembering his party night and then looking over and seeing a baby on the beach.
That's what did it for me.
It was
Like the party part is okay and stuff, but the other stuff is what I love about it, especially the that he's looking at.
That's what takes us to the next level, especially with the baby on the beach. That's the
I don't remember a baby on the beach at all. It's really funny to think of. I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
I also like how at first you're like, oh my god, he's calling the dad a piece of shit, but then the dad's like, I was a piece of shit. It's like,
yeah, that's great. Like that's.
Doesn't the dad like ask about the stakes or something at the start? So you're like, it kind of was foreshadowing or something.
I think so.
He meant something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I like how that sketch starts as you think it's going to be about Tim Robinson being uncomfortable with the kid, but it's like, no, it's because he was legitimately a shitty person, and apparently so was the dad. But people can change, and it's like has this weird, like, morality to it, I guess, for lack of a better word, or
I guess just thinking that the baby somehow knows this is pretty
babies
funny.
know.
Like, why would it?
Babies know.
Like it senses it.
I will say, just to comment on going through the rankings, there's a season 1 episode that's listed as 47, which is the one where he's up on the stage. It's like, I was bit by a dog. I'm not going to say, we're not going to put the dog down. And then they show the video of him falling off the stage and the dog humping his head. And I completely forgot about that sketch, but rewatching season 1, I'm like, holy shit, this is great. But yeah. Again,
that's kind of an ongoing thing in this where isn't there a part in it where he's like, about we're all recording on our phones or like, that kind of, and then he does that in the hot dog sketch where we don't know each other. And like, there's a few things that technology, like, which is a funny joke or whatever, because everyone, we're so buried in our phone.
Yeah. That's
Great point.
fair.
That's really fun.
Another one that I think is ranked too low is Parking Lot, which is the, now, Andrew, I'm sure you identified very strongly with this as someone who can't drive.
Immediately. Yes.
And is also prone to get very upset when called out on this.
On anything, so yeah.
So this is the sketch, for those who don't know, where he... it starts very innocuous as like some random guy in a parking lot, and you think it's going to be about him, but then there's a car behind him, and he can't get out, and you think the guy's driving like an asshole, and it's Tim Robinson, and he's like, doesn't know how to drive. How did he get behind the wheel at all? I love when he touches the steering wheel.
Is that gonna burn?
I don't know.
This has got to be the top 10 of the show. It shouldn't be
feels like
great.
a cold open to like an X-Files or a sci-fi. Like we're like, I don't know, like how did we do this?
Yeah.
I think it loses points. I imagine this article, at least because it was so short. Like everything it's saying here about why it wasn't good, like it's short in one note, is kind of why it was awesome. And like it was perfect the way it is.
So the next sketch is this one was one I did not like at first. I'll be honest with you. Here's another confession for me. And maybe we'll do a whole segment of me trying to get into Tim and Eric. But I've had a very hard time with Tim Heidecker and mainly Tim Heidecker getting into his stuff. It's taken me a while to tune into it. That being said, now I'm starting to get it a bit more. When I first watched this sketch,
360 comedy.
Yeah, it is. He is the Mike Tamafi 360 comedy. I really enjoyed this sketch upon repeat viewings. At first, I was like, "Oh, this wig's ridiculous that Tim Heidecker's wearing, the long hair," and but then like what they're talking about is so insane, and then the fact that they get so offended and upset at the random Chuck E. Cheese style robot thing, which ends up being a kid, was hilarious. And then the fact, I think one of my favorite lines of that sketch is when the kid comes out and Tim Heidecker looks at him, he's like, well, who are you? It's like, you just told him to come out. Like, what do you...
Yeah.
He's like, I'm the guy. He's like, oh yeah, that's right.
It's like that whole thing didn't happen before.
Yeah, it's like... and then I think he has one of the best lines of the whole series in this, where he's like, my dad was executed by the state. You know what his last words to me were? don't let the party ever die or something like that. It was like some crazy, and the way he says it is just so insane.
Let the party die.
To do a quick aside here, Tim Heidecker has a podcast or YouTube channel or something that he's been doing, and I don't know if this was just during the pandemic, but he had Tim Robinson on as a specific character last summer, and I'm going to show you who that character is. So this is from YouTube. You guys will remember, because the anti-mask rallies and protests are still happening now. This was from last year of something that Tim Robinson released. So this is, I'll put it out. This is from April. Oh, this is, I guess, from April 2020 that he did it. So right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Buy paint, you can't buy lawn fertilizer or grass seed or what. I mean, come on. All statewide? Really?
You know, it's time for our state to be opened up. We're tired of not being able to buy the things that we need, go to hairdressers, get our hair done.
Now's when I start to buy my Halloween stuff. What, am I not supposed to buy my Halloween stuff? Really?
Okay, so that was he ended up appearing in a he called in to Tim Heidecker's show as that character, and they did like a full 30-minute interview of him as the guy who wants to buy Halloween decorations in April, apparently. And he's like, well, you can't just order them online. It's like, well, how do I know how big they are? It's so good. He's like, well, like, don't they like tell you measurements? It's like, I need to know. Like, I need to see it. It's so funny. But anyway, to go through, let's see. Okay, ranked 42, season 2, Friends Weekend. This is another one that I think we've talked about a little bit already, which is the one where he puts on the glasses and the hat and starts dancing, and the dog gets very upset. This is the one with Connor O'Malley is in it. I like this sketch. Again, this is one of the ones that gets better the more you see it. But yeah.
I thought it was really rough to, like, just how loud and chaotic it is. I found it really easy to hate immediately, but
Yeah.
it definitely.
Well, you don't like that one?
No, I thought it just created a lot of like tension and turmoil. I don't know, like I hated the sound getting louder, basically.
Right.
But he saves it in the end.
What did you think, Tom?
I think for me, like, it's playing off the spouse there. It's like, no, turn it up. It's like, hey, that really kind of made it where she's having her on board. I think it enhances the joke.
Yeah.
And then the finish where like he takes off the glasses, puts it on
Connor.
and then like the tears. You know, I think that kind of makes it better. But it definitely, like, you have to dwell for the entire sketch to get the payoff.
It seems like with all of the sketches, it's his characters are so committed to what they're doing, and that's where the comedy comes in, of someone being so, it's like what Tamafi wants to do, of like being so committed to the bit and have it be hilarious rather than it be just not, but like he just like he sits in it and he just like he lets it like.
So he's so wrong and won't admit it, and the spirals and makes everything worse. The sticking to this thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it starts out with like the first thing of the whole thing is like the push pull, you know, like that's the kind of thing where he's like, oh no, I was here yesterday, and he just goes for it. You know?
Well,
I was told to me, I was just like, when I started, I was like, I'm just gonna check this show out, and the push pull, I was like, oh, I'm in immediately.
It's all about like just kind of pushing that envelope, taking a very small concept and or a small nuance in our kind of scope of society, and just really pushing the envelope. Like one of my favorite ones, very simple sketch, but it's like when it's a bunch of like college kids with a professor, and like the one guy gets the burger, and it's like the professor's like, oh, that looks like a good burger. Like, I wish I ordered that. Oh, I want to take a bite of that. And him just eating the burger. It's just like, I love that sketch.
I like that sketch a lot until the last line, and which
What's
is
the last line?
She goes home every night and the little boy goes down on her, and it's like, what the fuck? Like it just
that takes you out a little bit from it.
a lot. I was just like that whole sketch. It was funny, and his breakdown was funny. But then that last line, I'm just like, what? Like and like now when I watch that, knowing that line is coming, I'm just like, oh, like it's. Anyway, the next sketch in the countdown in terms of season 2 is Little Buff Boys, number 38. They do say it's a retread of Baby of the Year, which we've talked about. I do like how the thing I liked about Baby of the Year is it's like a convention that they're doing, and it's like apparently this is an annual thing that people participate in, and has been for apparently 100 years, given the age of some of the people in the in memoriam. Also, the in memoriam in season 1 is also one of my favorite parts of the series. Of like, why did
they got killed?
Yeah, it's like, in memoriam don't usually say how people die. Shut it. But yeah, that one's great. But the thing that I liked on this one was that it's like at a corporate event that they have this like little buff boys competition, and then they bring the boss up, and how aggressive Sam Richardson is with the boss is hilarious. Because like you just loved this. Like one of my all-time favorite memories ever was at the last law firm I was at. We went on a summer social, and I think I had been there like 2 months at this point, and it was like a Ottawa tasting tour, and Nick Burden was our tour guide. And Nick Burden just ended up roasting me and the boss for most of it. But it reminded me a lot of this because, like, Nick Burden, you guys know Nick. He just was there to make everyone uncomfortable, but also hilarious. But it reminded me a lot of that, of, like, you're putting the guy on the spot. Like, who doesn't want to be on the spot? But
I actually really thought Sam Richardson, like, both of his sketches did him a disservice, and Detroiters a disservice, because I didn't find either of them to be very funny.
Yeah.
At all. And like it felt like he has a totally different vibe than Tim Robinson. Like Sam's funny in like a really natural, conventional kind of way, I think. Like he's like a chameleon of an actor or whatever.
Mm-hmm. He really embraces like in a loving way. Like when he was so there's an episode of Detroiters where he becomes an escort for a city councilwoman. And he like finds out he's like an escort when she starts paying him, and he's like, oh, and then he just embraces being like a sugar daddy or not a sugar daddy, or gigolo, I guess is the right word. And like it's hilarious to watch him because he like gets the suit and everything like that, and he starts like leaning into it, and then but it's all like very earnest and very heartfelt how he does it. But yeah. Okay, number 36. HDVAC commercial. We've referenced this earlier. This is a callback from the first episode of the guy choking on the hot dog.
I forgot about that.
Did you?
Yeah.
But yet again, that's why I love the callbacks. They'll come back like 3 episodes later, whereas 99% sketch shows, their callbacks are in the same episode. I love that. I don't know why it says it says it runs out of steam. How does this run out of steam? This is fucking perfect. Like because like it's an ad.
It gains more steam.
Yeah, it's an ad for the vacuum, but it's clearly him ranting about losing his job. Like that's what the main part of it is. And he says, plus...
He won't say what happened, but he'll pretty much say what happened. Like, everything else is showing what happened.
I think one of my favorite parts of when he's choking on the hot dog is he starts choking a guy, and he's just staring at him. He's like, he's choking me. Like, why would he choke him? Okay, we'll move on from that. Okay, so this one is the Capitol Room, which is a Shark Tank style, but like just the promo. And this features Patty Harrison, who's Party Harderson on Instagram. I completely forgot about her sketch in the first season. And then I watched this. This sketch was hilarious. Like she's fucking great in this one. And then also the tables one, which we'll get to. but she was so funny. Of like, she's like, they go through, I was this person, I was that person, I got this money from whatever, and then it's I was hit by, or I got sewed into the peanuts Charlie Brown pants at the parade, and I got a settlement, and that's where all my money goes. I got a problem with wine or something like that. It was she was so good.
Like her money just keeps running out.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's gonna run out. She's so funny. Did you guys like this sketch?
Yeah, she really fits the whole vibe of the show. Like
Yes.
I wish there were more. I wish there was more of her. Honestly,
she after I saw this one, I was like, I really hope she's in again. And then I forgot the season 1 when she was in. She's in the one where it's the
Santa came. Yeah, Santa came early this year.
That's right.
She's so good.
I say the same joke 100 times and no one.
Yeah.
Just me complaining about my set.
I would never do that.
Okay. Now here's one that number 34. Before I say what I thought about this sketch, I'll ask you guys what this is. Detective Crashmore, the trailer, and I guess what happens afterwards. I thought that, well, okay, Emmett, what did you think of Detective
It's one
Crashmore?
of my favorites.
Really?
The whole, like, that, and then the part at the junket.
Right.
And like, it's not like I laughed like out loud, like, you know, or what, but I just thought it was brilliant. Like, I just think it's hilarious and really smart. But like, yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorites for sure.
Andrew,
Like
what
the idea that
sorry.
That Santa Claus is, because I watched it. You watch it and you're like, oh, this is just a weird trailer and there's some swearing, I guess, you know. And then the punch is that it's him is brilliant.
Yeah.
Tom, what'd you think?
Yeah, I think just knowing it's Santa Claus, I think really enhanced it a lot. Yet again, it really kind of feeds on the tropes of action movies, and that's something I really feed on. Even that's something that's been done, not overdone, but it's been done a lot over the years. I still something that I eat up when you typical fun of that. So I like that.
All right, Andrew.
It was kind of a miss for me a little bit. I actually think it's ranked way too high here. I think all of the sketches it's higher than. I think like the Garfield house was so much funnier. But this one is like, it's definitely one of the ones that I thought is funnier the more I watch it. But
I agree with you. For me, this was a miss. I liked it. It's funny. I think I liked it more the first time I saw it because I was like, why is this acted so terribly? And then you find out he's supposed to be Santa. I like how Santa is just this fucking dirtbag of like $2 million. That's what they got to pay me. And he's like, yeah, I've seen everyone naked. Or it's just like, what? Like, it's just.
And I like it when he gets up. Like, it's like, we've seen too many interviews, like Billy Bob Thornton, or like, who, like, aren't you going to ask me, like, why would you not going to ask me about music and stuff? So I like that aspect. Like,
that part was very funny. That part was super funny. I like that. I think the thing about it is it went on way too long. Like the two parts of it went on way too long. If it was shorter, I think that would have done it a better.
Or maybe if they were put together.
Yeah. Maybe done like that. Okay, so then the next sketch we have is Tammy Craps, which I would say is a very strange sketch.
it was lost on me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Lacked the direction for me.
Again, yeah. Why is this ranked higher than Claire's? Like, I don't know. I do like.
I did think. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I thought it was really funny that the little girl put like rocks in her pocket to
Yes.
make weight. That was really funny. That's all.
I know how it was like a weird kind of vague ad for like maybe that's what the joke is that it's really an ad for cigars, but like.
I felt very lost. I felt like I really missed a joke.
Yeah.
After that one.
I mean, what's the joke here?
Well, for me, I like the cigar. I mean, I thought the cigar part was the funniest part of it, but I overall didn't love it or whatever. But I don't know much about dolls.
Tom, you're a doll expert. What'd you think?
Oh God! As a guy who's seen a lot of doll sketches, No, it was okay. Yet again, actually, I felt the cigar thing was a little left field. Not like left field. It just in general, it just didn't have the pop that I'd like in a sketch.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Let's move on.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
I take it back. Let's move on.
Okay. So the next one is I don't even know if we should talk about this one without talking about the other one. It's an ad for shopping at the creek, which I think I'm going to skip this one for now. We'll come to it when we get to the
I feel I'll only say this. I feel that this should have been ranked higher than the first sketch. Because I feel like this was funnier than the first sketch to me.
You mean the one that sets this up? You thought this was funnier?
Yeah, I think this was funny. Like, the setup sketch was okay, but once I saw this...
Really?
Yeah, I loved this a lot more.
Okay, interesting. Okay, we'll save that for when we get to the intro sketch for this. So, okay, then there's the Detective Crashmore Junket, which we've already talked about, which out of the two is the funnier parts of the Crashmore sketch. Yeah. Okay, then we go Baby Shower. Okay. This might be one of my favorites, other than Coffin Flop, is one of my favorite sketches of the series, which is the Qualstar trial. And this is probably because I work in the legal profession. The fact I explained this sketch to one of the lawyers I worked with, and he's like, that is fucking hilarious, because this would happen. This would exactly happen, where you would have to read like, if you're reading text between them, you can't just, unless the other side said, yeah, you don't have to read that shit about the hat. But usually you just read it in. But the fact that he's sitting there in the gallery wearing, okay, first off, you would never be allowed to wear a hat inside the courtroom, but that he's wearing the same hat. I'm telling you right now, I looked at the pricing right now for about $29, maybe $39. I could get a hat like this and a pair of dice, and I got my Halloween costume. Like, it's there. Like, it's there. But just
the dice in that sketch, I lost it. I laughed out loud alone. It was so good.
I just like how he's sitting there and he's so hurt because he's there for the trial, and then you realize it's like, no, don't do the impression. Like, don't do the voice. Like, I lost my shit so many times. Tom, what did you think about this one, where they're reading the transcript in the court?
You know what? It didn't land for me. That being said, I don't think I was paying attention enough for it, so I need to watch it again.
Okay. So yeah, this is the one where they're reading like supposed like collusion text messages between them to sell stocks, and then in between them conspiring in a criminal fashion, they're making fun of their coworker with their shitty hat, and he's in the gallery wearing the shitty hat. It's like, and then
like the office, when like the standoff between him and the boss, and like that whole thing was really
Oh, and they had to read his diary.
That's right. Yeah. And then he told her to get away or to move, but then he realized it was too aggressive and tried
stuck in the wheelchair.
Yeah. Well, you got grease on my hat. Oh man, absolutely love this sketch. I think again 29's too low. I would put this probably in the top 10 of I think you should leave sketches.
I just learned from you right now that courtroom is called a gallery.
When you're in the audience, that's what it's called. It's the gallery. So yeah, a little courtroom talk for you here. Then we have 28.
I'll allow it.
But watch yourself, counselor.
I object.
We have Ghost Tour, which is I like this one. I didn't like it a lot, but I liked it. Andrew, what do you think about this one?
Lorenzo, the way you've talked about the Coffin Flop sketch I feel like you should be saying Ghost Tour instead. Like, this is the sketch of the second season. It's like the one to show people it should have started the first episode. I thought it was killer. Like, it ends with tears. There's so much swearing. It's got that sad, weird thing at the end about not making any friends. It's got it all. Crazy.
I do think it's part of what makes episode 1 of season 2 the best episode of maybe the series, but like it's so funny. Just where
and
he
it's
takes
so
it.
It's so I think it's so just him saying ridiculous things and repeating himself, making stupid faces, and taking himself so seriously when there's no need.
to any of these
You notice
fuckers.
the thing with that, where like you remember like they clap when he leaves and stuff, and like for most of the show, like I think we've talked about this before with other stuff, but like in this one, the like real people are really real. Like they're really kind of like polite, but like uncomfortable and stuff. Like it does well, and people would clap when this guy got kicked out and everything. That would happen. I think when it had the way it ended is the best way it could have.
Yes.
And like where you're still sad for this. Like he was just trying.
The ending's fantastic. Like I, in a million years, would never have thought that would be how a sketch would end. Of, did you make friends, honey? Like, did you? I mean,
It took a left turn. I liked it.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure this was an experience for Andrew as well. But I've had that talk with my mom, picking me up at the age of 35 from a bar. Like just that because
I had that last night essentially. So,
you never really, because it's that thing with your parents is you never stop being that kid to them. So like, it's funny how at the age of like he's at least in his late 40s in real life in the show, and his mom's like clearly in her 80s or 90s, and she's picking him up, and it's the same interaction as if he was picking him up at the schoolyard. But yeah, so funny. Okay, then the next sketch is we have the who said this was their favorite? The one where he's taking the Tom, where he's taking the food from the Professor Urabi.
Oh yeah. This is one of my favorites. Yet again, the end I didn't love, but like the overall build up to that, I thought it was great. Like yet again, it's taking a very minute thing we know of, like in just general social interaction, and taking that and just beating it over the head with a club, and I love that.
With a club sandwich. No, too soon. Okay. Anyone else liked it? I liked it. Again, as I said, that last line kind of kills it for me. Anyone else have anything to say about this one before I move on?
I think it took me. I forget exactly what it was, but I definitely didn't like it throughout. Then there was one line. I think maybe the way just the actor played it, but it got me so hard at one point, and I was putty. Like even the last line I thought was funny. By the end of it, it was great.
Oh, hold on. We have someone coming in. Oh, we also have the Codename Nation is also rating our channel. Hello, everyone from Codenames. Tim Riel and others. Hello, everyone. Joanne. Yeah, did you guys win? Who won?
Yeah, oh yeah, we won.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you didn't bring the trophy home, I was gonna say, get out of here.
Yeah, I had to earn my way back into this, so I had to win over there.
As you can see, we're only winners here.
Yeah, only winners. So hey guys, welcome to Embarrassing Humans. We talk about comedy stuff, comedy shows, things like that. We're talking about the Netflix series I Think You Should Leave this week, the new season. My child has already come up to tell me to stop screaming in my Tim Robinson impressions, which was one of the highlights of tonight. But we've been going through, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner by David, we've been going through the AV Club's ranking of the sketches and discussing them that way. So Andrew to my right, David down there, and Emmett are all big fans, as well as myself. And then Tom, who's over here, has seen the show but isn't quite sold. And so we're trying to sell it to him a bit more. We're also talking about the show Detroiters, which we're all big fans of as well, except for Tom, who has not seen it. So we're trying to sell that to Tom. So follow the channel if you'd like. We do shows every Sunday. If David isn't otherwise winning a championship in another Twitch stream, he's usually here, and we talk about usually classic comedies. We did an Ace Ventura debate last Sunday of which Ace Ventura film is better or less problematic.
Inconclusive. The results were inconclusive.
The results were inconclusive. Emmett, in the true coward that he is, would not make a decision.
I did make a decision.
Right. Kind of did, actually, and it kind of swayed a little more to my side, if I would say so. He said there was more jokes, I think. He
said the second was funnier and like more jokes.
Yeah.
Like overall, but I think this first one, with the problematic stuff aside, is a better movie. Mm-hmm. So, which was both you guys kind of think.
Your punches in the first one. That's my Sorry, I know this was last week. I know this was last
If
week's
you wanted to talk about what happened last week, you should have called in. Sorry.
You wanted to talk about the
No, that
cable
was
guy.
No, that was coming.
Oh, we've talked about Cable Guy, yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about Cable Guy. We talked about Mr. Show.
A lot of Mr. Show.
A lot of
yeah.
Mr. Show. We've worked through the first 3 seasons of Mr. Show. And most recently, also in June, we talked about Bo Burnham's Inside, which came out on Netflix recently. If you're a fan of that series, which I don't think Tim is, if he's in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, but that will be airing in theaters this coming Thursday, July 22nd. So if you want to go see that and give Bo Burnham more money, you can. So and see it there. Andrew, you kind of look like Bo Burnham. What's that like?
It's great for me. The Jean-Francois Fournette, he introduced himself to me saying I reminded him of Bo Burnham. It felt really cool.
Sing a song.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah.
You do look like Bo Burnham, that you have clear mental health issues just present on your face at all times.
Tim, they're releasing
Welcome back, David.
Bo Burnham's Inside in theaters for like one night only. So it's
Where's that happening?
I think it's happening Cineplex, Silver City, and Canada possibly on Thursday.
I'll
Okay.
go to that.
Do
I'll
you
go to
guys
any
think?
movie for now.
Do you guys think his newest special was better than his previous ones? Like,
Yeah.
is that?
It's very different. Like
Yeah.
Make Happy is amazing to me, and like I miss the stand-up aspects inside. Like there's pretty much no, because obviously they couldn't do like he does like replicated stand-up kind of in it, but it's not the same. So I miss that because I like when he does like little stand-up stuff. But I don't know. It's just a different beast. It's just a whole different thing in my opinion, because it wouldn't have happened without specific circumstances, pretty much, right? So.
Right.
Is Make Happy as traumatizing?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, he's just sad and everything. Like everything he does is like has a pretty big baseline of depression and like struggling with like the worth of comedy and stuff like that. Like it's all kind of a through line in most of his stuff, I find.
Is Make Happy the one that ends with that Kanye-esque song that you really like?
Which is amazing. It's like my
It's
favorite
so
thing he's
good.
done. Yeah.
That one is really good.
See, you told me to listen to that, and that was the companion to. All
I
Eyes
didn't
on-
tell you it was the commander.
Sorry.
You read somewhere.
Read somewhere, and I listened to it, and like I was like the first half of the song, I'm just like, what?
Did you listen or watch?
Both.
Okay.
I used
Okay.
my eyes and my ears and my heart
At the same time?
at the same. Yeah, in a row.
I don't believe you used your heart.
I listened with my heart muscle. But it was okay. I don't know. I think it's like I've never really liked Bo Burnham stuff until I saw Inside, and I was like, this is. And I'm sure Mr. Riel in the chat feels this too, but like I've said it during our stream back then, is like what we've been doing. Like I just started doing this again in April, May, but like doing Trevor's Pad from March 2020 on for the year, 150 something episodes.
Yeah.
There's a moment in Inside where he's like, if I stop working on this, what am I going to do? Like I'll have to face the pandemic and like
Yeah. It
alone
was
with
really
your
weird when Bo
thoughts.
Burnham was like, "What if I have to talk to my kids?"
I know.
And Lorenzo was like, "Oh, relatable."
Ugh.
I feel with Inside. Inside's a lot like the show Louis, where it's like it's not punches all the time. There are these big lulls in there, but
Yeah.
they're actually very deep lulls. I love it. Like "Welcome to the Internet" is probably like one of my favorite songs I've heard in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
I just have to warn you, if you're new to the channel, new to the stream, we get sidetracked very easily. So,
Yeah.
so
In about 10 minutes, I'm probably going to tell a story about New
Yes.
Brunswick, and it's going to have nothing to
We've-
do with anything.
we've sorely missed David's.
Rockville in a little bit,
Yeah.
What was this site you sent me? Because I followed it obviously right away. You sent me the.
Oh, me. Oh,
Yeah, David. Sorry.
It's called Moncton is for Lovers, and it's like
Right.
someone pointed out to me that it is kind of problematic. It's pretty much just pictures of homeless people. But
Who's to say, David? Everyone. It does have a very, as George Asili has said, a very post-apocalyptic vibe to it.
warriors. He said Moncton seems to breed warriors, is what he said.
Yeah. So
But yeah, Moncton is for Lovers. It's an interesting
Instagram.
Instagram page, and it's just like pictures. We have a lot of bike thieves in Moncton, and there's a lot of pictures. This guy I know, he's just got a good eye with the camera, and apparently just lives near all these horrible bike thieves. So he just takes pictures of them all the time.
I did not know that what I was witnessing was theft, because my whole time I'm looking at this page like, why are there so many pictures of bikes?
Yeah, those are bike thieves. We have so many bike
Thanks,
thieves.
Tim. Thanks for bringing everyone here. Have a good night,
You
Tim.
can always tell a bike thief when there's like a guy biking and he's biking with another bike.
Yeah. It's not even that. It's like a trailer of parts of other bikes. Like, it's a lot of that.
That's not your bike at all. We all know.
Yeah.
I love how you said Warriors for some reason about Moncton. Now I'm just picturing the movie Warriors.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Well, when George said it, I wasn't sure exactly what he meant. I think he might have meant that.
Just picturing somebody clicking beer bottles together, just like, hey, David Haddad,
Yeah.
out and play.
Except it's a bunch of 40-ounce Colt 45 bottles that they've somehow fit on one hand and they're clacking together.
Did you guys ever
The
play?
Warriors are trying to get to a snowdrift instead of Coney Island.
Exactly.
Or an ice drift, or what was that thing?
Oh yeah, there was a guy in Moncton that escaped the cops by jumping onto a hunk of ice and breaking it away into the river and riding it as an ice floe, which was Lorenzo's favorite story about Moncton.
And it was, and no, the thing that was my favorite about that is that that's not what the guy was known for. What the guy was known for is hitting golf balls in a park at random houses.
Yeah, I don't think he wasn't aiming for the houses. He was just golfing, and there just happened to be
as one
houses
does
in this residential park area.
and then he was the ice flow guy from then on, but then he was previously golf ball guy. So yeah, that's just great. But okay, to get back to the show, so all the new people watching, we are going to have spoilers of I Think You Should Leave. So if you have not seen that, please be aware of that. So this and you guys can tell me. We'll catch David up real quick, and because we have like 15 new people here, I will go through the ranking of what we've covered very quickly in terms of what I can remember. So one of the sketches that we went through, we just finished going through Ghost Tour, which
that's one of my favorites.
So we've said, I think one of the consensus we've all agreed on is that season 2, episode 1 is one of the best episodes of the series.
So solid. So solid.
We haven't even gotten to Coffin Flop yet or the hot dog thing, but I'm assuming those are ranked pretty high. But we just had the Ghost Tour one.
So Ghost Tour was the bottom, the lowest rated one?
No. Ghost Tour.
That's what you just talked about.
We just talked about. We're at number 28. So I'm skipping. Skipping.
That's okay.
I'm skipping over the season 1 sketches. I'm just going to season 2. One that was ranked really low was Claire's, which I thought was a goddamn crime. Which is
was really funny.
Yeah, it's and like there's other ones that are ranked higher, like the random guy having the body double to have guys take a shit, like the guy that works with. That's ranked higher. That's ranked higher than Claire's.
I didn't love that. I kind of forgot about that one actually.
Exactly. Claire's is good. I do love the driving sketch, but I think Claire's belongs somewhere around the driving sketch level. Like it's
dude, I watched the driving sketch twice in a row today, just like randomly, because I was just thinking about it, and like his yells are so good in it.
Yes, they are.
And so is the other guys. The other guy in my second viewing of it, I was like, the other guy's really funny too when he's because he's so pissed off. He's pissed off from the very beginning on his first phone call, and they just sorry, I love that.
No. And then one of the ones that we went through that I said was one of my absolute favorites was the courtroom sketch, where they're reading.
I watched that today too.
And I told them that I just priced out how much a hat and dice would cost, and I think I got my Halloween costume for under $40.
Fuck, that's a really good idea.
And most of it's the hat. But
I've got some dice if you need them, probably.
Of course you do. Moncton, they give them to you at birth.
Yeah, exactly. You only get to go to school if you roll 6s.
Okay, so I'll go around. Andrew, out of what we've covered so far, what would you want to catch David up on of what we've seen? Or what we talked about?
I kind of would want David to help try to convince Tom to watch Detroiters, to be honest.
Well, I'm sure we're going to get there.
Well, let's do it then.
Yeah, is that too off? Is that too out of the
I think
way?
Tom's got time. I think we just need to get it to him some way. It's
okay. The thing about Detroit is that I will say, because I don't know if Andrew made this point, I personally like it better than I Think You Should Leave. And only because like I like sketch, but I've always found sketch like wildly inconsistent, and like I can't binge it the same way I can binge like a sitcom or like a show. And yeah, this is essentially like a buddy sitcom sort of deal.
Yeah. And you get to see, we just got done talking about the little bodybuilders sketch,
the little buff boys,
little buff boys,
yeah.
and how underwhelming Sam Richardson was in that, and that he was underwhelming in the first season. I mean, he was good in the was a Baby of the Year sketch, but you really get to see him shine in Detroiters.
Oh, absolutely. And I've actually heard, that show described as having almost like pretty heavy Simpsons influences, in that it does get pretty like absurd a lot of the time. Like there's a weird running bit in it that kind of flies under the radar, where whenever they drink beer, it's hot beer. So they're always blowing off their beer.
They're always doing that,
before they drink it, but it's not really talked about ever. So there's like, they have weird things like that, where it's like weird like side jokes that are strange and don't really mean anything. And so you can kind of get like Simpsons things where you have sort of like heart and like grounded reality, and then all of a sudden weird stuff like hot beer or wigs being made from the hair of dead people and stuff.
No,
like
they're
that.
not. They're not made from dead people. Sorry, Tom. I didn't mean to imply you had time. I was very.
I have all the time in the broadcast. Don't worry about it.
I like the positioning of Tom's camera because it just looks like he's doing something else entirely.
I told him this was like.
I'm watching you guys, but you don't know that.
I told him this was optimal camera angle for maximum penis size. Like we're gonna get, it's just gonna look massive. You know, the lighting.
Who knows?
Yeah. Emmett, out of what we've covered so far, what do you think David would want to have some input in?
The Santa sketch. That divided us.
That divided us a lot.
Oh, that was a divider? I like it. I'll say Wait, is it? I hadn't watched it since the first time I watched it, but it is separated in two, right? Like there's the.
We talked about them together in the ranking. They have the trailer listed lower than the Crashmore.
Yeah, I think the interview is the funniest part.
Yeah.
Because first of all, it's like the Billy Bob Thornton thing, right? Like so that's just funny that they reference that, because I was always fascinated by that video. And watching that now has like a kind of different feeling, because it's John Gameshi interviewing Billy Bob Thornton. So you watch it now and you want to be like, I think he knew. I think that's why he was being a dick. But obviously that's not what was going on. But you can frame it that way if you want to. But so I liked that reference. And I just like the shitty actor guy being like, that's my rate. I don't even have to do a good job and they still have to pay me that much. Like, I don't know.
And then Santa.
Exactly. And something about that actor, and he keeps sticking his tongue out a little bit, and and just like the whole time he's like licking his lips a little bit, and it's really off-putting and really funny to me.
Yeah. So
you guys didn't pick up on that? He was doing that the whole time.
I did. I was wondering if if this was on purpose or he does this naturally, or
I don't know. I have no idea.
So it sets the creepiness so much higher. Just
absolutely. So Emmett, did you like it? Were you a fan?
Yeah, I really liked. Like I didn't like. It wasn't like I was laughing super hard, but like as a concept and how it, like the whole thing, I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Emmett and Tom liked it, and Andrew and I both thought it was a bit of a miss. But
okay.
So the sketch.
Not fans of Christmas.
And what's everyone's opinion on Santa in general?
Bullshit.
I think
he's fake, actually.
I don't like that he can see my dick. That's something I'm not a fan of.
Nobody likes that they can see your dick.
Thank you, Andrew. I just set it right up there for you. So the one we were just talking about, which is on screen right now, next to David's face, which is the one with the professor, where they're at and he's like, "Can I try that? I should have bought that. I should have got that." And I think that this fits the awkward. Like this is definitely an awkward sketch. One that's the joke. Yeah. But I said that what makes this a miss for me is literally the last line of, and then my wife, a little boy goes down on my wife. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah, that's true. I wasn't a big fan of that sketch anyway. Like it was just awkward and it was pretty funny, but like, I don't know. Cause I like how he keeps being like, nah, I'm just joking. And then he just clearly is getting closer and closer to eating the burger. But yeah, I don't know. It was like just awkward. And then, yeah, that last line was just like kind of forced, weird perversion that seemed really unnecessary.
I totally forgot about that line. I like it all the way up to that line. Like I feel like
so
taking a very minutia thing and then expanding on it, like somebody saying like, "Oh, I wish I ordered that," and then taking it like 10 steps beyond that. And I
Yeah,
like
it's a funny concept.
So the next sketch, let's move on to a new one. It's called Wife Joke. And this one I thought, when I first watched it, I was like, what the fuck is happening? And then I got, so this is a sketch where it's like standard guys at a poker table. And this guy, the actor, I recognized him immediately. Like, this guy's a serious actor. Like, when I saw him, it's Paul Walter Hauser, who I believe played Richard Jewell in the movie about the Olympic bombings, and which I think was nominated for awards and shit. So
wait, like which guy? Which one is this? The fat bearded guy?
Yeah, the one who's like, no, I love my wife. Like, I'd never say that.
I didn't know he was a serious. I know him from like Cobra Kai and stuff. I didn't know he was like a serious.
He's
actor.
he's like legit, like a legit
cool.
actor, and he's hilarious in this. I think the thing that I love the most about this sketch is how many times they say the word Jamie Taco as somebody's name, but like it's like. The joke is that you have all these guys doing the standard like, oh, I hate my wife joke, and then he's like trying to fit in with them and makes it, and then has a 5-minute flashback about how much he loves his wife, and then he's like, no guys, I can't stay. And it's like, it's my birthday. Like, no, I gotta go home.
Oh, I like the reveal of the sleepover at the end. That's so funny. Just on the couches of the sleepbags. Like, he never stays the night.
That is something like, that is so like above 40, above 50. I'm gonna start saying above 50 now since I'm turning 40 in 2 weeks, but like above 50 behavior of like that you'd set out the beds beforehand so you don't have to worry about that later when you're drunk. But yeah, I just love everything. I loved everything about this sketch. It's so funny, so wholesome. And I think you should leave. And like,
I thought it was a complete package. Like it just like when you got to the finish, it's great. And like, because the Jimmy Tacos is probably one of my favorite. Jamie Taco. Yeah, I love that shit.
Stepping on his lines. Go ahead, David.
Yeah. What? Oh yeah, I just like that because like I don't know, I thought it was like funny because it's like sweet and heartwarming, like just to have that even be the thing done so well is kind of funny. But yeah, then if they didn't have the sleeping bag thing at the end, I'd be like, well, that was like pretty funny, but like that really nailed it home with like the weird absurdity at the end where these grown men were all gonna like lay on the couches and like gossip as they fell asleep or whatever.
I like that the sketch wasn't like the thing with the wife and the plate. That was the sketch. Like, they just put in a whole sketch into the middle of this other thing.
Yeah. And like the music too was like very Grey's Anatomy. Like it's very like like it was just like it's so dumb. And
I was also waiting for it to go like wrong. Like I was waiting for like something to go wrong between him and his wife, but no, they just have a great supportive relationship and he immediately needs to go see her.
They just love each other and he cannot for any circumstance go along with the joke maligning his wife. I
think I might try marriage now. It looks
cool. That's like beautiful.
Go for it.
Yeah. I love it.
Okay, then let me see. Okay. Episode ranked 24, which is also one of my favorite ones, but this isn't for season 2. It's the first episode of season 1, which is Has This Ever Happened to You? Which is probably most people's first interaction with I Think You Should Leave. Just a phenomenal sketch. Sketch. Made me think a lot of what's it called? The Mr. Show sketch. I am not a lawyer, but I will come out and I will hang out with you. Like, remind me of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then some of the
like Picnic Face though too.
Like,
I don't know if you ever saw.
Oh yeah, there's a really good courtroom picnic face. A lawyer will sit with you in the courtroom and make chit chat. Yeah, that's what's his name? Mark Little.
Oh yeah, okay.
Face.
So some of these season 1. Okay, so just I'm gonna do a quick aside here on season 1. That sketch definitely is higher than Biker Guy and Christmas Carol. I don't understand how that is lower than those two. Like I in terms of season 1.
I'm not remembering a lot of the season 1. I haven't seen that season. I saw it a couple times, but I haven't seen it in a while.
Christmas Carol was ranked way too high. That was I think
that's
that
way
was a really
too high.
rough sketch.
I got the premise of it, but it wasn't like
we've had a talk, David, about that in that meme group that there's a big. I feel like the meme community behind I Think You Should Leave seems to think that season 2 is the lesser of the 2 seasons, when I would say no.
Yeah, I mean, it's stuck. I've heard a lot of people say that it's amazing, but it's not better than the first one. But I mean, it stuck with me way more than the first one.
Yeah. I'm
don't know.
I'm gonna name my third kid Jamie Taco. Like, just kidding. Go ahead.
Have we talked about? We haven't. Sorry, Tom. You go.
No, I just realized I've actually seen most of season 1. Apparently,
You keep referencing it, and I wanted to say, I was like, I'm pretty sure you've seen it.
I realized because I was watching a bunch of it today, and like I watched all of season 2, and then
It just started playing.
Season 1. So I'm up to speed on most of this, guy.
Perfect.
What kind of game are you playing, Tom?
Yeah.
Is your name even Tom?
No, it's Jamie
it.
Taco.
Jamie Taco.
Jamie Taco.
We haven't skipped past. Sorry. You guys haven't done the Blues Brothers sketch yet, have you? Did that happen yet?
That was
okay.
So what are your
what
are your thoughts on that one?
I think that might be one of my favorites. Like it was one I didn't think about, but I kept seeing. They keep making the meme of like
Got the hat and the glasses.
Yeah, that and the glasses. She thinks you're a whole different guy, and like that just fucking makes me laugh. I used to hate that actor. That guy. He's in Detroiters a bunch. He's in a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, he used to like bother me because he like just yells all the time too, but in a way I found annoying. But I loved him in this. He was perfect in that sketch, and I also loved how like as it kind of goes on, like it reveals that like Tim was just like the boyfriend brought to the party. Like they're not even like his group of friends. He's just busting out this thing for strangers to try to save the day.
Have you seen Connor O'Malley's YouTube channel?
No.
It is. I sent it to George Asili.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, George Asili is an Ottawa comedian, won the Yuck Yucks competition here last year. And I said, George, this is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, and it made me think of you. And
Did
George,
you like it?
George, of course, already knew who Connor O'Malley was, and said Connor's a king. But yeah, it's so bizarre. Connor also does a lot of like guy on the street things with like real people, and it's very off-putting, but like in a good way.
All right, I'll check it out. I'm kind of like, honestly, the Blues Brothers sketch kind of won me over on him a little bit because
you see when he did the talk show in the New York River or whatever.
Yeah, I think so. That was
amazing.
I think that was him. Yeah,
like that's just how great it is and stuff. I really like him.
Okay, cool.
Well, we were talking about him in this because I think this is his only sketch in season 2. Or no, I think he has one other one, right?
Yeah, there's some, I can't remember what it is right now, but he was definitely in another sketch.
But the 2 in season 1 he's in, one is when he's the music manager, and he's like, "Oh, we gotta get you. You're gonna be a star or whatever." But then the other one he's in is fantastic, which is the honk if you're horny one. He's the.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
I'm so horny.
Yeah, that is a pretty top tier sketch from that episode. Eh?
Yeah.
Did that one come up on the list yet? Probably not. Eh.
No, I think that's going to be in the top 20. But we were just remarking on Connor's thing. But like,
that's my favorite from season 1.
Number 21 on their countdown is from season 1 is the choking sketch. And I'm like, that's not. I mean, it's funny, but like I put so many other ones that we've already covered higher than that. So anyway, okay. And then number 20 is Game Night, the other Tim Heidecker sketch from season 1. Here we get into.
I don't remember that one that well.
That's the one where he's the guy with the walnuts. You go, where's your nutcracker?
Oh yeah, he's like the pretentious like jazz boyfriend or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love how they revisit it. It's like this guy was on the Colgate app. He was
the Colgate app.
Player on the Colgate app. On the Colgate hour. I love that. I love how he.
All right. So. We didn't talk about the companion sketch to this because we were going to talk about this at the same time. So they have as number 19, Dan Flashes, which is...
Is it a companion sketch? Like, is it referenced in the...
Later on, you have the Creek...
Oh, I thought you were saying it was a companion sketch to that Tim Heidecker thing.
No. So
I understand, yeah.
So the Creek one came up earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And who said they liked that? Tom, you said you liked that one more than this one.
Yeah, I felt like, because it just, yet again, like, I like the Dan Flashes thing, but it gets beat over the head too much. Like, You shut the fuck up! You shut up!
You skunk!
I just love it in the companion sketch where there's, like, guys looking at the patterns as they're, like, as they're in the shop, as, like...
Guys that look like him.
Guys that look like him.
Looking up and down like they're reading a maze.
Yeah.
That is really funny.
I think one of the shirts is a like printed of a Windows screensaver of pipes. You know the pipes?
Yeah.
It looks like that. It looks like they just printed that.
That was one of the best
shirt.
screensavers. That was one of the best ones.
Yeah.
Or words, because you could just say like penis or whatever.
That's my other idea for a Halloween costume, but I think it costs way too much for one of those shirts.
A Dan Fleischer shirt?
Yeah,
Yeah, it could be upwards of $400 depending on the pattern.
It is. Yeah.
You just said it was 2,000. You shut the fuck up. I think one of my favorite parts of that sketch, and the graphic on the screen right now is him on the couch, is the fact that he's so weak from
that he's just hungry. It's so embarrassing.
That he's so weak from not eating, and yet he has the energy to get so angry, and how the old guy is just like egging him on, and like
why is the old guy like? Was he like following him around? Like he knows everything about all of his interactions at Dan Flash's. He maybe saw him get into a fight and thrown down the stairs. He just has all the information.
The fact that he got thrown down the stairs and that he knows that is strange to me.
Yeah,
but
yeah, he either like is following him around, or like outside of these meetings, like the Tim Robinson character is just telling him against his will about this the entire time, which is probably also kind of likely.
It could be. I'm just seeing. I love how I search Dan Flash's shirts for sale, and
Complicated.
And then the first thing that comes up is a Reddit thread. Need one of them complicated Dan Flashes shirts.
I keep seeing a meme of like, or a picture of like Tony Soprano in one of those shirts. Like, is it actually a shirt he wore, or did someone just make that?
David,
I couldn't tell because it looked real.
I'm gonna offend one of our viewers, Joanne Capone, in the chat right now. But as a fake Italian, I'm gonna say that these complicated pattern shirts are
very Italian.
Are cultural. If you watch especially the season with Furio in it, he wears a lot of these complicated shirts.
That's the one I only watched halfway through, and then I stopped that, and I got to get back into that show.
What'd you say, Tom?
Oh no, Furio? That's like totally a Furio.
Yeah. Oh, Furio would be at Dan Flash's, and he would also execute everyone to buy all of these shirts.
He would have gotten all the shirts.
Yes.
He would bill everybody for those shirts.
Every single one of them. You know what I'm gonna do? If I can find the shirt that's the tube screensaver one, I'm buying that shirt. It's 100. Or maybe I'll see if Trina can make a custom printed.
Oh, that could be a thing, probably.
I don't know. If
okay, what's your cap? Like, if it is expensive, like what is too much for you to justify spending?
$2,000. No.
You would spend $2,000.
I'll pitch for
yeah,
you.
we're gonna do a GoFundMe, guys, for Dan Flash. You know what? I'll stop eating. Stop eating. I love this sketch. I think it's really funny. And it's all Tim Robinson and his anger for these shirts. And like
also, anytime he's just yelling at one person, or anytime anyone's just yelling at one person, is really funny to me.
It can carry a sketch.
Yeah, it really can.
Okay, I'll keep going. Okay, then the one they have for episode 18 or number 18 is from season 1. It's the very sad Fred Willard. Or it's sad that Fred Willard's in it, but because he's passed on. But that one's great. That was great with that he's a hockey.
Fred Willard's a legend. Like he can't really strike out at all.
Nachos. I don't know.
The fact that like you have that kind of playful organ, it gets anybody else behind it and be like, it's okay. But Fred Willard, it's like, okay, goddamn, that's perfect.
Okay, so I'll just tell you the names of the sketches as we go through. So number 17 is Nachos from season 1. Number 16 is the one with Will Forte, where he's the old man on the plane.
That was killer.
That one's a good one.
Off-putting as fuck.
Very off-putting. Oh yeah, going on vacation, huh?
It's more the crying as a baby. I have like a thing where like men as babies really disturb me. Like I have a real hard time with that. I remember one time there was like a commercial. It was like it was like a Suzuki commercial or something. And it's like a guy takes his like baby out of the car, and then as he like turns around, it just like morphs into a giant sumo wrestler in a diaper. And I think it was supposed to be like time flies in a Suzuki or something like that. But anyway, it's like nightmarish to me. I hate that shit.
But it almost felt a little bit like what's his name in Taken?
Liam Neeson?
Yeah, Liam Neeson. Just like his monologue there, just like
oh yeah, kind of
1982. You know, there was a baby sitting beside me, and he goes on and like
I knew the moment I saw him. Yeah, it was
really well done. I love that stuff.
So then we have at number 15, the gift receipt from season 1.
About the Will Forte, I love his reasoning for going to England in the first place was to make the soldiers laugh.
Was to make what? The soldiers laugh?
He wanted to make one of the British soldiers laugh who like stand outside of Buckingham Palace.
Oh yeah.
So
that would be
very
quite an
upset
accomplishment.
that He was too tired to do that. Because of him,
So then we have number 15, the gift receipt one, which is the he didn't wash his hands, didn't use enough toilet paper. That sketch is funny. And then I think that sketch, the way we talked about this in relation to the Ghost Tour one, about how the thing that really makes the Ghost Tour one hilarious is how it ends with him being like, did he make any friends? No, not really. And then this one ends with him in the car and the lady's like, I'll take him home. So where are we going? And he's dead in the passenger seat. Absolutely hilarious. Okay. Goes back to season 2, number 14. I don't know why they call this HD Vac Part 1, but it's the first episode of the first sketch, which is the hot dog getting caught in his throat.
Yeah.
Trina Wilson messaged me earlier saying she did not like witnessing the vomit on the bag.
It's a little bit of vomit. It's not even that bad.
But my favorite line is, my favorite parts of that sketch is like when he's laying down, he's like, I don't have a hot dog. He's like, we can see it. And he goes, like you just see it like it's sucked up. And then
I was like, when he's down and they're like asking him what he's doing, he's like, I'm just like the most tired I've ever been right now.
Also that how the sketch ends, I think is brilliant with, whose bag is that? I almost tripped on it. It's like such a great line. And then he looks at the camera, which I think is the only time during a non-looking at the camera sketch where he does that, and then the first credits roll on. But that sketch is so good. Like,
it's such a good ending. It's like most of his sketches, they do end in like really bizarre ways, but this one was just like a really good joke.
Yeah, Andrew and I were talking about that last night actually, about how like even just like in like by the book sketch writing, it kind of doesn't really do what you're supposed to do in a lot of like they kind of don't have endings a lot of the time. It's usually just someone continuing to yell about what they were already yelling about, or like, I mean, there are exceptions like the Ghost Tour and stuff like that, but it's weird. It just works anyway.
It seems go ahead, Tom.
Oh yeah, but that, like I like that. That's something that's not explored enough. That's why I love the Python. The only difference between this is Python will have an interjection where it'll be like, all right, we're done here now. We'll move on to the next sketch.
The sketch is getting too silly.
Yeah, this is getting too silly. Now for something completely different.
Yeah.
It just cuts.
This seems to be a through line from Mr. Show, Monty Python, and this of like ending sketches seems to be the hardest fucking thing to do.
Yeah.
Like even with like the Mr. Show commentary, they were talking about how hard, and I brought it up I think in our season 3 discussion about like they were saying just how fucking hard it was to do not just ending a sketch well, but then tying it into a transition to transit to
they give themselves an extra fucking weird obstacle to have to deal with all the time in Mr. Show because everything connects. So
I think the thing I like about this hot dog sketch, I'll call it the hot dog sketch, is I very much see this version of Tim Robinson as an extension of his character from Detroiters, because I could totally see his character from Detroiters being upset that you would skip lunch. You don't skip lunch. Like what? Like you just don't.
Your impression is getting better as you do it.
I know.
Every time you do it, you're getting a bit closer.
As I said, I identify very strongly with his deep set eyes and overwhelming sadness that you can see in Tim Robinson at all times. But yeah, he I love how offended he gets that you would skip. You don't do that. That's not something you do. And then the thing is, like, a normal person would be like, hey, I'm really hungry. Can I eat during the meeting? Yeah. But instead he has it in his sleeve.
Hot dog sleeve is actually a pretty genius idea, though. Like, when I saw that, I was like, I don't know, if you're a little more suave, you can make it work, I think.
It reminded me of Jason Mantzoukas' character in The League, where he had pocket dogs. Like, he had hot dogs in his pocket at all times. And that was a thing that he just always had a hot dog in his pocket for eating. But I don't know. Hot dogs, I think, are just funny. They're just funny.
They are.
It reminds me something from like Always Sunny in Philadelphia though too. It's like something like that Frank would do.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And
What?
it's like, no, it's okay. It's a hot dog sleeve.
Ah!
Yeah.
When me and Andrew were in school, I wrote a Always Sunny spec script, and I had a lot of Frank eating disgusting things in there. That was like that was like my first thing. I was like, he's got to be like gnawing on pickled like boar hooves the whole time.
That's
One of my favorites were just like, no, it's just you make a sandwich in your mouth.
Yeah.
Now take all the pieces.
Oh, one of the best, and it comes up like in memes all the time, is when he's on the webcam and he's eating a peach without a shirt on, and it's just like dripping all down his face or whatever. It's so disgusting. He's like, it's gonna be a very classy affair, and he just has like peaches dripping all down his face.
They do everything the one thing I will always respect about Danny DeVito is for generations he has been making people laugh, and for like the last 20 years it's like, hey, here's these random guys and you're going to work with them and a whole new generation of people are going to get to know you and you're going to just say yes to everything they ask you to do.
We're going to oil you up and make you naked and make you bust out of a leather couch. Yeah. And man, my dad didn't like Always Sunny until he saw that, and now he's totally sold for some reason.
It kind of reminds me of the Mechanical Rhino.
Oh, God,
yeah, exactly. Lorenzo's favorite
don't you start
cinema moment.
Okay, so then we go number 13 is Laser Spine Specialist from season 1 with O'Malley. It's like
Great
yeah,
sketch.
that's a great sketch. And then the other O'Malley sketch with the honk if you're horny. Okay, then we have the other Patty Harrison sketch for season 2, which is the driver's ed. This sketch is such a slow burn, like in terms of what the big payoff is going to be, but she makes it so funny.
I don't even remember this one. This is
Tables.
Oh yeah. I remember. Okay, yeah. I totally remember now.
You know what? Maybe I could go around as a Tim Robinson impersonator because I think I'm getting pretty good at his yelling. But Tables, what's her job? Tables.
Oh man, Halloween is gonna be so great.
Yeah. Man, that was a great sketch though. Fuck.
You have months to prepare, and you're already this good at it.
I'll just go as all Tim Robinson characters all the time. Actually, you know what? That's not a bad idea. I could do a Dan Flash's shirt with the hat from the
just go as I think you should leave.
And you could wear it all under a giant hot dog costume.
And I pee myself anyway. So like I have the calico pants. So like.
Did we talk about that one yet?
That one hasn't come up yet. That one hasn't come up yet.
That's up there.
So we were saying that Patty Harrison is hilarious. When we talked about her before for the Shark Tank thing that they did.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And then I completely forgot she was in the first season.
Sometimes when I see a bald guy, I feel like I'm back in the pants. That makes me laugh so fucking hard. Sorry, I know we're not talking about that sketch, but it fucking kills me.
We missed that line earlier. But yeah, I just love how she gets so upset about her tables.
And the tie-in at the end is so stupid and so funny.
So you know what's
I like when the guy dies at the other guy dies or whatever. The other driver gets the red screen treatment or whatever.
You know what's funny? This is true story. I have to take an exam on Tuesday. And I have to like have my room completely like everything removed from the room and everything. So I have to take apart my kitchen table to move it down to my bedroom because it's the most blank room I have. And all I kept thinking is like, if I just had like a folding table that I could rent from somebody. And then now I'm realizing the sketch is, what's her job? Tables. I need her. I need tables. I need it just for a day. But yeah, fucking great. She's great. Her Instagram too is hilarious. Party Harderson.
Do you know the Netflix show Characters, where they just do like different?
I've heard of it. She's from
Tim Robinson.
Right?
Tim Robinson has the whole episode, right? I just think
she should have one. I hope if they ever do it again, I think that'd be great for her. Because it's really great. It's like a.
Yeah, I could check that out. I forgot about that show because I've been meaning to revisit it because I might have watched the Tim Robinson one a long time ago.
It's just like another episode of I Think You Should Leave. It's really good.
And the Kate Berlant one is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I need to watch that one. Okay, the next episode, I think this is ranked way too high, and I love Bob Odenkirk, but it's the
Oh, yeah.
it's
Yeah,
the-
you're right. That is way too high.
this is number 10 is they call it Diner Wink. It's one of those ones where it's a sweet sketch, and it becomes hilarious, but also it goes on way too long.
Yeah.
I feel
And
like it leans on star power too much. Like I feel like
Yeah.
like we're leaning on that way too much. It's good, but very simple premise, and I feel it's like, by the end, it's like, yeah, you see where it's gonna go, like from the get-go.
also, it's like we're watching. I think you should leave. We know everyone's gonna have a sad punchline, and like his is. I'm definitely not living in a motel.
Yeah, yeah. You just sort of think, yeah. I'm sort of surprised that it kind of didn't give him more to do, right? Like he's
Right.
fucking Bob Odenkirk. Like I don't know, but I mean, I don't have any ideas for him, but
I like when he gets to the wife part in that, like when he starts talking, like asking him to talk about his beautiful wife. Or
yeah, that is.
that he doesn't live in a hotel.
And he's got triples.
Have 3 cars.
Triples.
Yeah.
I got triples. Got
I
triples.
don't know what that
back.
means.
That poor child in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
next,
it was funny. It was just long.
next up is season. No, so number 9 is a season 1 episode, which is Chunky. That's the one with the weird
Andy
red
Samberg.
carrot. Yeah, and Andy Samberg.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay, number 8 is a season 1 episode, but that's the one with Patty Harrison with the new printer. It's called. So she's in the show Shrill.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I meant to
she's
watch.
the
I've heard
receptionist.
that's a pretty good show.
It's not funny.
It's not funny.
Not funny at all.
Who's it?
Jennifer Whiteford really likes it. That's where I've heard of it. So does that
Yeah.
check out? I don't know.
I think Jennifer's funny. To be fair.
Who's the main character in that?
80 Bryant.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some really cool scenes. Like it's worth watching. I only watched the first season, and some of it was like really cool, but it wasn't very funny.
So the next one is number 7, and I think this is too low. I think this should be number 1, which is Coffin Flop.
Oh yeah.
So this is.
But you think it should be one out of all, like everything?
I think this is the best sketch of the series.
I
For
might,
me.
I might agree. I might change my mind as we keep going to the higher ones, but I thought it was amazing.
Especially reading that article of how they did this and how much effort they put into it and everything they did. It's just like, holy shit.
I didn't see the article. Did you post it or something? I didn't.
I thought I shared it with you. I think it's in
I
our
might.
group chat.
I've been busy today, Lorenzo. So.
It was like I think Emmett might have shared it last week, right? It was Friday or Thursday or something. But it was basically they shot this all in one day, in like February of this year, and they had to plan it because I guess the stunt guys. So the same people that shot this shot the tiny penis or the horse penis episode or sketch from season 1. So it was like, how do we do this? And their original idea was like, okay, we'll just do like 3 or 4 coffin things, and we'll just like, because it's supposed to be people like hidden, like just capturing this on their phones. It's like people's like phones capturing it. We'll just film it from different angles, so it looks like a bunch of them. But then Tim Robinson's like, no, don't do that. I want full production value of like cameras and everything, because I guess the point is that clearly he did do shit. Like he did make this happen. And so I guess there was only like three coffins they use and a bunch of false bottoms for it. And it's mainly only like one stunt guy, but like main one, like there's like the guy who rolls down naked, is like, they used him a lot. He's the one on the stairs too that falls down. But it's just, it's such an interesting, in terms of like logistically how to pull something like this off it's fascinating to read. But in terms of the comedy, this is just fucking great. Like how do you
naked dead bodies falling out of I mean, you can't really ask for more.
I was saying, David, when we talked about this kind of earlier, I said how I posted this on my Facebook page, and I forget that half my dad's family is Seventh-day Adventist, and there was a couple shocked reactions to watching this. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right, you're here too. But yeah, what do you guys think about Coffin Flop, Corncob TV?
I think it's ranked too high. I think it's like maybe a top 25. But I don't know about.
Whoa. One of you's unfriending the other today, I guess.
It's already done.
At 2, Jamie Taco.
Just say you like Ace Ventura 1 and we're good.
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Tom?
I'm supposed to be the one who's like the voice of just like, you know, like I don't know what I feel about this show. I thought Coffin Flop was amazing. I thought that was like one of the best sketches in this show.
I felt it was pretty one note. The way, like one note in a bad way. Like it didn't. Could have had a bit more to it.
You're telling me that these bodies falling out of shit wood is a one note thing?
That's one note.
If there was a show on TV that literally was that, and it was just that over and over again, like you wouldn't watch that.
Okay, I wouldn't, but that's not why I.
You wouldn't watch that, dude. You don't smoke enough weed.
And 1 out of 5 is nude.
Yeah.
I think.
How many notes do you want?
What's attracting you to this show?
Here's the other thing that's funny about this is, and the way they shot it, and they explained that in the article about shooting it too, is, and you can hear it if you listen to it, like the reactions of people. They had all the extras play it so serious, and you hear them like, Jesus Christ, so funny, so funny. Like
it is good. It is. I just think there are some sketches that were underrated.
Anyone else want to talk about Coffin Flop before we move on from Coffin Flop? The best sketch ever? No? Okay. All right. Okay.
You want to still talk about Coffin Flop?
Here's and
I will say I like I like the name Corncob TV. That's pretty funny.
Corncob TV.
Corncob. It sounds like something my dad would watch. Like, you know, it's just like, what do you? I come home like for a weekend. But what are you doing? Oh, I've been watching a Coffin Flop marathon on Corncob TV.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a bad sound.
So here we go. For number 6 is another season 2 episode 1 sketch, which is the prank show, which is my most shared. That's your favorite one?
I think out of season 2 it is. Yeah.
I don't even want to be around anymore.
It's so memeable.
Yeah.
It just get me every time. They take me right back to it.
Yeah, no, it's fuck. Now that we're saying that, maybe that's my favorite one. Fuck, I knew this was gonna happen immediately.
His name in it is so wild. I forget what the name, like his character name. Hi, I'm something super Italian.
Yeah, yeah, I can't remember what it was.
And I guess this is making fun of Gordon Ramsay and the way he.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
I didn't. Yeah. So like when Gordon Ramsay wears prosthetics to like.
I didn't know he even did that.
Nobody knows that about him.
I thought it was making fun of like those shitty like Jackass segments where they dress up as old people. There's always the worst parts of those movies. I've never liked that. So I thought it was making fun of that kind of.
See, and I don't know how I would. I tried to be like, I have a white wig. I was like, but where do you get, first off, where do you get a muscle suit and whatever vest that is he's wearing? And
that's like a little Puerto Rican boy's vest or something.
That'd also be too much shit on you.
Yeah,
exactly. Too much shit on me.
I feel like one hand was longer than the other.
It's funny just how excited he is initially for the bit. Like he's so on board and committed, and like
about what he's gonna do. He's gonna talk about stuff.
Yeah, he's very familiar with the plan. That's like one big part of it. He knows exactly what's gonna happen.
Well, the guy talking to him was like, "This was your idea." He's like, "I said it'd be interesting."
Yeah, so you said you thought it was funny. I said I thought it was interesting.
I like how also when he's walking in the mall, everyone's just staring at him like, who the fuck?
Oh yeah, so how many people, like, was everyone real or just the people in the background?
Yeah, do we know about that?
I don't know.
I wondered that too.
I feel like maybe the people close to him were not real, but then the people around.
That's usually how it works.
People around were like, because you see kids in the elevator just looking at him like,
yeah, exactly.
I do know with this season it was delayed because of COVID. So like I saw discussions on Reddit that said that they were already filming season 2 when COVID shut everything down, and they didn't pick up again until like a year later. And it was like, I wouldn't be surprised based on how many people you see in the mall that this was shot pre-COVID. Just it looks pre-COVID. It looks like simpler times. Back when a guy wearing this would walk into a mall. But yeah, I love so much of all the seasons and stuff, but like this one sketch, I think if it, like season 1 and 2 was just this sketch, I'd be fine. Like just watching this over and over again.
Yeah, I don't even want to be around anymore. It's just such a good like quote now. Like it's so that's why it's such a good meme. But yeah, and then Yeah, because then he's like, what's he say? He's like, oh, I'll rip it off. That'll be the sketch. I was like, yeah, that could work. And then he's just like not even into that all of a sudden.
I love how at the end the guy goes along with it finally, and he's like, okay, fine, we won't do it. And he's like, well, then what's the show? It's like,
That's so funny.
it's like, what are you fucking doing, dude?
And he's just like, after he says, I don't want to be, and he's like, so you're doing, he's like, I don't know. And he's like, so you did, he's like, you want to die because, and he's like, yeah.
All right. Okay. This is, I think, ranked way too high. Way too high. Number 5, Calico Cut Pants. I'm sorry. It's a funny sketch. Goes on way too long.
Yeah, it's another too long.
3 times too long.
3 times too long. There's some really funny parts in it. One of the best running gags in this joke is, hey, hold that door. And then he just walks super slow. I also like when the guy hits his coffee and he like, oh, like it's just
you hit me in the coffee.
So this sketch is about a guy didn't shake enough after he peed. And
We've all been there.
All been there. Ladies with this tan pants and
it's a really great premise.
It's a great premise.
It's really promising.
Really great premise. I tried immediately when I watched this, tried going to the website and it was down. But let's see if it's up now.
Oh, that's another fucking Colin one or whatever. What's his name? The loud guy?
What's it called? Colin O'Malley.
Yeah. He's like the Randy guy or whatever, right? Or whatever that guy's name is. That owns the website, isn't he?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in too deep.
Calico Cut Pants is now up and running. They are also selling a Dan Flash's intricate pattern shirt for $2,000.
You got everything you need, Lorenzo.
They have the jeans. Let me see if I can add to a cart. Oh, it's out of stock.
That's so funny.
They also have a place to donate because you got to give. That's so funny, and I love Calico Cut Pants.
That's like, wasn't the Bozo dubbed up on YouTube? Like, wasn't that actually up on YouTube?
Yes,
as
I think
well?
so. Yeah, the Bozo YouTube from season 1, that was up there. That's so funny. Yeah, there's some great parts to this sketch, but way too long. I don't know why in God's name would you rank this sketch above even the last 3 we discussed? Like,
yeah.
I would put this squarely in the middle, and yeah.
Andrew, do you like Coffin Flop better than this?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I don't believe him.
I'm not a Coffin Flop hater. It's just the way you're just singing it like it's the best sketch you're talking about.
He was signing so many musical metaphors to the Coffin Flop sketch. I don't understand. It's to one note. We're singing about it.
I've got a song in my heart. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why aren't you going to spread the Coffin Flop gospel?
Yeah,
True.
exactly.
Let's see. So number 4 is season 1 of we gotta find the guys who did this, the hot dog costume.
That's a
great one.
Okay. I think
just slowly taking all the suits and stuff and just like walking around like everything.
I think this is too high. Is the number 3, the day that Robert Palins murdered me?
Dude, that's so good. That's such a good one.
I think it is too high too.
It's good. I would put this like in the 10s, like between 10 and 20. I would probably put this.
David, go through the list and look at what 25 through 57 were, because there's a bunch that are criminally underrated.
Actually, I didn't look at the list at all.
Okay, wait. Go.
Okay, season. Okay, so the top 2, they're all season 1s, and I know this sketch is iconic, but the focus group, I find season 2 fun. This is one of the reasons I find season 2 funnier. Is the best ones they've identified from season 1. I think season 2s are better. Their best ones are better than season 1's best ones. They have the focus group as number 2, and then the one they have is season 1 is Baby of the Year is the number 1 sketch for I Think You Should Leave. Are you fucking...
It's bullshit. Absolute horseshit.
Really?
I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine, but I don't know. I don't think of it that often. I liked when he yelled at the baby. That's fine.
It's a great sketch. Or when the lady tried to kill Harley Jarvis.
And he didn't need to do the oral.
He didn't need to do the oral. that was great. There's a great moments in it. Sam Richardson's great in it as well. And I think we talked about this before. The In Memoriam segment is one of the best pieces of comedy ever. Of like, they don't usually say how they died. It's like, decapitated, wasn't that one? Or throat slit, I think was one of them.
Something about getting pancaked by a truck or something like that. It was definitely pancake.
I'm looking through the AV Club thing now, and there are some ones that are super low that I think are really good.
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
No. I agree.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm fading fast.
It's okay. If you need to bounce, Tom, go ahead.
Yeah. I think I might need to bounce. I have to wake up at 5. So.
No worries. Thanks, Tom, for joining us. We had a good chance. Watch Detroiters. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, you'll like it.
If I learned anything from this, I should watch Detroiters.
You should.
Yes.
Everyone should watch Detroiters. But thank you, Tom. We'll see you, Tom. Yeah. Okay. Let me
Tom.
figure out where to put this now. Okay. So I think we did our job with Tom.
And you want?
Oh God.
All right.
All right.
Why did you have to wait for Tom to leave to do
Yeah.
It's a whole
Yeah,
thing with
jealous.
Tom.
Okay. So, I think I'm pretty clear on. I think season 2 is better than season 1.
The more we're talking about season 1, because like I heard people say like, no, it's better, and I was like, oh, maybe it is. I should rewatch it. But like I've seen it twice, and I barely remember any of them. The thing I liked about season 1, there was a lot more like random like running gags. Like I thought that was kind of cool. Like what was one of the ones I really liked? The Jim Davis house or whatever. That was something I really liked from season 1.
That one's so weird.
Yeah.
I know, it's super weird, but it's so funny to me. And yeah, because you just think it's someone that just bought all the anyway.
It's the guy who wants to kill Jim Davis.
Yeah. Season 2. Yeah, sorry, I'm just going through this AV thing. There's a couple like the Joni's birthday. I thought that was so good with the impersonator that keeps slapping people or hitting because he can hit.
I actually we I think we all didn't like that one.
Really?
much.
That could have been 57 as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's 50 like 2 or 1 or something. So.
But
high.
Claire's should be up there. Claire's is like you know how that I go back and I laugh for 10 minutes I fake laugh every day for 10 minutes. You know how sad that is?
I think the whoopee cushion one. I don't know if that one came out.
That was one of the like
super low.
That's super low. That's like 57, 58.
Yeah.
I think Players and the coffin sketch they could have traded places on this list.
Which one? Players? Which one's Players?
Claire's, sorry.
Oh,
Claire's the one
Claire's.
you're talking about.
Yeah, Claire's
I'm
was
sorry.
52.
You think Coffin Flop should be 52?
It could be 52. Like compared to where it is.
I also liked Big Wave a lot, where they're doing the surfboard office table thing. I liked that one a lot.
Okay, so here. Think about this. Think about this for a Halloween costume. Okay, I have the hat from the courtroom sketch, the dice, the Dan Flasher shirt, and khaki pants with piss stains on them.
Yeah, no, that's great.
That's it. That's
you
it.
got it.
I think you should leave season 2.
Yeah.
That's the motorcycle vests and put it over.
That's another sketch that I do not think is that great. Like it's I like it.
The motorcycle one?
Yeah.
I really like that.
I know you do.
When they see the bust or the baby, it's so funny. It's really good.
I just like that they've clearly not seen any other vehicles, so every vehicle is a motorcycle.
Yeah. I liked how when I posted about my son thinking his little bicycle was a motorcycle, you immediately made that reference in my Facebook comments, and I was like, he does like that sketch a lot. But yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. Any other? So watch Detroiters. I'm
gonna rewatch it soon.
Yeah, I rewatched season 1. Season 1's great. I need to watch season 2. Any other thoughts on the show that you guys would like to share before we sign off?
From the first season, the episode with where they were at brunch and it was those women with Vanessa.
Oh yeah, Vanessa Bayer.
Oh yeah, that was great.
I think
shows.
It's got to be top 5. I think that was like the best one.
I'm actually surprised it wasn't. I'm surprised actually that it wasn't higher up because that that got passed around a lot on the internet. That went kind of viral. I thought.
Yeah, like that stays in my brain. Anytime I post a picture of people on Instagram, it's in my head.
That was number. Where was that? That was definitely in the bigger half or the. But okay, that was 25. They ranked the motorcycle sketch above that. That was 23. and the Christmas Carol one. Can we all agree the Christmas Carol one does not belong in the top 20 or 25? It's 22.
Yeah,
I don't
it's like
remember
a
it
40
at
to
all.
50.
That's the one where he comes from the future and he's like in the Sam Richardson
Oh.
does, and he's
Yeah.
Scrooge is helping him and
Yeah, and they're fighting those like CGI skeletons or whatever. Yeah, I watched that the other day. Yeah, it's like stupid and like funny, but yeah, you're right. It's
like
not.
the 3 best ranked sketches. It's really disappointing. It's like it's really not accurate at all. Like the 3 best ranked ones here, they could be in the 50, like the worst ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I this whole ranking's just no.
Got us all bugaboo.
It's all a bunch of Jamie Taco, if you catch my meaning. Okay, so we haven't decided what we're doing next Sunday. If we're doing next Sunday, David may be involved in another competition that thankfully he did, because he brought most of our audience here tonight. So thank you, people from Codenames, for coming by and sticking with us. Follow the channel if you'd like to watch us talk about things that we see. Maybe we'll switch back to a classic comedy next week. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe into that.
Andrew, of course, you're welcome anytime you'd like to come. Trevor Thompson is welcome at any time in the chat.
At one point.
Yep.
Which one?
Not another teen movie. Did you talk about?
We did
Oh,
talk
we were
about
talking
doing
about
that. Yes.
I'd be into that.
Have you seen that,
I've
Andrew?
never seen it. So
No.
Okay, 2 people that haven't seen it.
It's a Chris Evans classic.
One of those.
I am curious to see how it holds up to like nostalgia goggles, because like I always liked it, and I think of it as being like one of the good of those like kind of shitty parody genre movies or whatever.
It's a very
Oh, and is it a parody of like a teen sex comedy?
It's
Yeah.
It's parodying
Oh,
all those
fuck.
2000s.
Because I loved those, like American Pie and
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
it
yeah.
parodies
Or whatever.
American Pie. It parodies what's the other one?
It parodies Breakfast Club at one time. Even.
Yes, the one with Freddie Prinze Jr. She's all that.
Yeah,
She's All
where,
That?
yeah, it's very heavy. Yeah, the one where she like takes off her glasses and then now isn't
Yes.
ugly anymore.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like a big inspiration for this.
What do
movie,
you're so ugly with the glasses and the ponytail, like.
yeah. Glasses in the ponytail and the paint stain on your overalls.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
Ugly Slob.
it's got a lot of those, and it's like the girl who's in it is, I think she played Lex on Grey's Anatomy. She's just a beautiful woman, absolutely beautiful woman. But yeah, it's a funny movie. Maybe we can do that. We can do not another teen movie. The cast in that's insane. But anyway, so maybe check us, follow us here, follow us on Facebook at Embarrassing Humans to see what we're gonna do. We usually post on Wednesday what our upcoming movie is. We try and make it something that's accessible to people online. That's not something you have to go seek illegally, but yeah. So follow us. David, do you have any shows coming up you want to plug?
Yeah, tomorrow at Swizzles,
That's
9
right.
o'clock. There's the first
Swizzles here in Ottawa.
Yes, the first Swizzles Monday Night Comedy Show coming back. Will be tomorrow.
Andrew's on the show, right?
Yeah, Andrew's on the show.
I was going to use my time to promote a different show,
Oh.
just to be clear.
Okay, well, then there we go. Andrew's on this show. I'm in the Yucks competition on Wednesday, but I think it's sold out. So
Oh, that's right. Don't fuck it up. Emmett and I got through.
it's true.
Fuck.
We'll see.
Emmett, any? Sorry, don't want to put pressure on you. Emmett, do you have anything to plug?
I got nothing. So Andrew, whatever Andrew was.
All right, Andrew.
Emmett's second round of the competition is actually what I was going to plug. He's going to win. So you guys should come.
When's your first night?
Mine's August 5th. Thursday, August 5th.
There's some good people on that.
No, not really. It's just me, baby. So come on down, watch me.
That's what I meant. He's good. Andrew's good.
Yeah.
Hey,
Emmett.
Andrew's great. Andrew's great. He already broke his first round cherry. Was that last year or the year before?
That was last
It
year.
was last year. Okay, yeah.
The big 8.
No, you did it. Oh, I understand. Broke the. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting through the first round. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you've done that twice. I thought.
I did it. That was my first time in the summer, but that winter I also made it past the first round in the winter comp, and that was
you,
my.
you beat me out in that round.
But that was 2019.
I wasn't gonna mention it, Dave.
I've not. I can't not mention
That was
Well,
that was
since
winter
you mentioned it.
2019 though, right? Because we didn't have
Yeah.
a winter 2020 comp.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
right.
So okay, just check.
It meant a lot less to me. The winter one.
Did it? I remember seeing the picture and you looked extremely happy.
Oh, well, in the moment, I mean, winning, like, it felt very cool.
Okay.
But that night, the best part was just they announced Dave, and Dave thought it was him, but there was another Dave. So, like, they said Dave, and then he took a step forward.
And I did that in front of Mike Tamafi, and it sucked so bad.
It was so good because David.
I forgot all about that.
You knew after your set you didn't advance. Like,
I know I had a horrible set.
Who
I
was
knew
the
I
other
didn't.
Dave? Dave who?
Thompson. He quit now. David. He was an
Remember
older
that
man,
offensive
like a weird
old
guy.
man who made like he had that chop chop Hello Kitty joke or whatever. You remember that guy? He was a
He had
horrible.
glasses, a suit.
Yeah.
Howard
never
like
saw
loved
him.
him immediately. Booked him on, I think, a opener on
Yeah,
a
he was an
weekend.
old, like, very offensive man,
Okay, interesting.
and he killed that night too. So I don't know why I stepped forward. You're right.
They are often very offensive.
Next Saturday, I'll be at Whippersnapper Pub in their brewery in Bell's Corners with.
Sounds so much like you're making
What?
that up.
Is that the name of the show? Hold on, I'll check.
Who's running that show?
It's.
Yeah, give us a.
No,
email
I'm not
address.
gonna tell you because then you're gonna start bugging them for spots.
Yeah, that's why we're asking.
They'll come to you if. Yeah,
they won't.
Whippersnapper Brewing Company in Bell's Corners here in Ottawa. Brendan McKeegan is headlining. Chris Kingsbury's hosting, which probably gives
Oh,
away.
it's a Kingsbury show. I remember this now. Yeah.
Christina Muehlberger and I are splitting the middle.
yeah.
So we'll
Good
be
for
doing
you.
that.
Those Kingsbury shows are really fun.
Fuck you, Andrew.
What do you mean?
Yeah, they're great.
Great person to split something with.
Yeah, it's yeah. I'm sure I'll be going bullet. Then the other one I'm doing is Ari's show on July. What is that? July 31st at One Up Brewing or at the One Up Room here at Ottawa, New Edinburgh. I'll be hosting that show. So
Hey, I live really close to Bell's Corners. Maybe if it's not already sold out, I'll come through.
now, when you say that, Andrew, are you also asking me to give you a ride there? Because that's
No,
usually...
like I could bicycle to that show.
Oh,
You could bicycle
look at
there.
that.
I can bicycle there, yes.
I can bicycle there. Look at him. I don't
Yes.
know how. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm gonna burn my hand immediately.
I think so far the highlight of tonight's show was my daughter coming up to tell me to stop yelling. That was amazing. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you everyone who stuck around from Codenames. A good chunk of you did, and especially hey KB. We'll see you guys next week, next Sunday, where I guess we're going to be doing Not Another Teen Movie. So if you want to come watch us talk about that, it's a really funny film. We'll see you guys then. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.